Welcome back, fellow scribes. It's time for another round of Civ 7 here, and today we're playing Charlemagne, and I'm playing as Rome, and I'm probably going to pick each Civ for their apex age, probably. I just like, playing through multiple of them. Usually, you get to try out Civs multiple times, so just kind of my thought. Anyway, we'll get into it here. Charlemagne here, he's getting happiness on military and science buildings for adjacent fortifications. We get 2 free cavalry units once we unlock cavalry whenever we enter a celebration. And we get 5 combat strength for cavalry units during celebration. Now I'm grabbing a cultural attribute, and we're going to use merchant saddle. Really get those settlers, merchants, and everybody out there as soon as we can where we want to settle them. Now for Rome, we get culture on our districts in the capital. We get a free infantry unit every time we start a new town, and we can build the Colosseum faster. Now, of course, we have the Legion, gets combat strength for every tradition in our government, very nice. Then we get the Legatus, our unique commander, and every time he gets 3 levels, we can put down a free town, so we don't even have to get a settler out there. Pretty nice stuff. Then we have the Forum, get culture for every tradition in our government when we complete the quarter. The Basilica, we get gold adjacency from culture buildings and wonders. And then Jupiter, we get culture from happiness buildings and wonders. So, they really play being next to wonders, happiness, and culture buildings. That's kind of the build. All right, and then, of course, we have the traditions here. 3% towards building units in the capital, plus we get culture equal to 25% of their costs. That's pretty handy. Then we get 2 culture on diplomacy and military buildings, doubled if it's both. Then we got the Latinitas, 2 food and 2 culture in towns, doubled if it's fort. And then we get a production on districts in the capital. Districts, not quarters. Very interesting to point that out. Again, like up here, it's a unique quarter. That's when we complete this. So districts versus quarters, that's good thing to keep aware of. So before we put this in, let's take a look here on our palace. I want to see if that counts as a district or not. It should. So here we are. We got our spot. I think we're going to stay in place. We got some nice gold here. We got some good old kaolin out here for some food. Science, if we really want to stretch it. Plus, that's a percentage. In my opinion, percentages aren't that important right away. We can kind of build towards them. Also got some elephants. Not really necessary right now, but they will be later. I think they're good in Antiquity, fantastic after Antiquity. Exploration and modern, ivory's the way to go. Well, one of the ways. Anyway, we do get 10% on wonders when we're building them in tropics, plains, and desert biomes, so we'll have to add those in. Right now, we're kind of looking more of a grassland, maybe a tundra. North America homelands, grassland. Okay, so we have some play here, and then we have some horses. So I like where we're at. We're definitely going to stay in place. We're in fresh water, and I'm probably going to explain things a little more in detail because people are kind of wondering about some of the decisions I make. So I'm going to kind of map them out a little bit. So here we are with our settler. We're going to land on fresh, so we take no happiness penalty. So we will get 5 happiness on our palace because we're landing on fresh. If we settle off of fresh, we get no happiness bonus. And then red, you just can't settle there. So that's where we're at. I like where we're at. If you want to take a look at things for your cities and stuff, you go 3 tiles out. So we can acquire this. We can acquire all the way out to here and here. 1, 2, 3, and here. So we have some fog of where we can, that we don't know of yet. So we'll have to see what those tiles show. But where we are at, I like it, especially this gold. Now I can see right here, there is some coast. That's definitely coast, especially this cliff. We can kind of see the water there. Now we don't know if that's a lake or ocean, but we will find out. So let's go ahead and get in place here. Boom. And we do have a culture on this. So that is lovely. So that does count as a district. So we'll have that. Now if we get in here, we have our cultural attribute point. This is culture on city halls and palaces, different from districts. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. That'll get us an extra culture. Boom, we're already up to 2. And the reason I picked this memento is because right now we're Rome. And Rome, as you saw, we're dealing with culture. That's what we want to roll with. We want to kind of lean into that hard. So that's kind of our goal. Now, as for productions, I'm going to secure some nice 2, maybe 3 scouts. But let's definitely get these scouts rolling. Definitely a good use of our time. We want to find areas to settle, find locations, people. Scouts are just a great way to really see where we're headed. All right, there's agriculture. Beautiful. And we have 3 turns for our settles. So we're going to come this way. You may think this was a bad idea, but not necessarily. So it is an ocean, and that gives us a great idea of what we're working with here. So we have a few ocean tiles. We really won't do sailing for Roma. It would be very hard to get over here. Oh, maybe not too difficult. We can put some sciences right here, and these are by the way, these are resources that will stay forever. These 3 will never go away. So that's really good for us. And I like where we looked, because in my opinion, okay, we cut off this whole river with Roma, but we can maybe settle around here somewhere if we need to. All right, so now for our first tech. That's very big. What are we going for? Sailing? Not really. We're not on the coast. If we were on the coast, it'd be a different story. So is it pottery or animal husbandry? Animal husbandry does have the slinger. That's really good, really great. Good for a range. You know, we definitely want that. It's up there. In my opinion, you're going to grab both of these first, most likely. So your question is really, are you doing pottery or animal husbandry? Well, what's your production going to be? What are we going to snag first? I'm seeing myself going this way. So we're definitely getting mines first. That's really big for us. So we might as well feed into the mines. Also, we have a lot of mine rough terrain here. A woodcutter would be handy, but we're going to focus on mining first because that is where our productions, that's where we're going to be putting our people anyway. So that's kind of where we're headed. All right, and see, look at that. We're already growing. Now we could get more food. Food is definitely great for a start. We definitely want this production as well. It's one thing to think about. So you got to kind of gauge, where do we want to go first? Do we want to grow? Like, this 2 foods are really great. I think we go for a 1 on everything. Also, it's actually more than a 1 on everything. We only have 1 settlement right now, but this is really 2 gold and 2 happiness. Now, each settlement we add will increase this value, but this is 2 and 2 right now. Or we can go here and then have access to get this stuff. And normally I'm for this. I'm actually going to go for this clay pit first. And the reason being is because I can now just grab these mines and not have to really worry about it. I might even grab this forest because I want to grow right now. That's my plan. All right, so let's head out this way. All right, some nice desert. There's already a person near here, so we can see that city-state here in just a turn or 2. All right, let's get up here. Yeah, let's just use the whole turn. All right, Mesa Verde. Oh, we can still move. I can't get on that tile, so we're just going to go ahead and search here. Get a little more going. All right, Mesa Verde, very close. We might befriend Mesa Verde. It's not... Yeah, it's in a location that it's a little close. Okay, I can't get this elephant anyway. I think it's perfect because I don't really feel like settling up here. So we probably will befriend Mesa Verde. That's like, they have great resources, but I don't really care about being up there for those. All right, and see, look, we already grew again. Fantastic. We can grow again and get some production and happiness. I think I will. I know that it's like, hey, why are you leaving these yields on the table? Just trust the process, all right? We're here to grow. And now, when we start growing stuff, we're going to be grabbing these tiles now. I know resources right away. I'm normally for that myself. But now I have them in my borders, and we can grab them. All right, we have 2 scouts. Let's move our scout first. I want to come out... Actually, yeah, let's come down this way. I think we're more southerly. We are more southerly. But let's go ahead and just head over here, secure this. And looking at where our map location is, let me just get up here real quick, snag this. All right, 10 food or 37 happiness. 10 food would get us closer to a growth. That is true. Actually, it'd probably finish it almost, because we are on online speed. So if we come in here and go to our city, we grow in 2 turns and we make 9 food a turn. So basically, we'd be 1 turn faster to our growth rate. So do we want to take 1 extra turn and 25 gold, or do we want to take 37 happiness? I do want to get into celebrations, definitely, but I'm going to go ahead and take this because it gets us closer to getting our gold, because I'm going to secure gold, or I might do this mine. Silver gets us gold and food. We'll do the gold first. Both of these give gold, which I love. But yeah, we'll do the gold first. All right, we will secure 1 more scout, and then we have to see about where to put our granary and other ageless buildings. Oh, there we go. We got pottery unlocked. Fantastic. Ah, look at that. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and grab this gold. Beautiful gold. That's going to help boost everything that we're doing. All right. Now looking here, we could go into animal husbandry, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and take that out, get that going, because we do have forests around us. And we're going to go all the way around. Now we could... 85. We might think about befriending Mesa Verde before we do anything else. We'll just have to see. All right, what do we got here? Mesa Verde becomes hostile for 15 influence. Well, that'd be kind of useless. I'm just going to take the 37 gold. That 15 influence means nothing to me right now. That gold, though, means a lot, because if I come in here, I can start buying units. Or we can save up for buying a building, which is also very nice. We might buy the building, actually, seeing how things go. All right, we've unlocked our stuff. Let's go ahead and go into our policies. Chiefdom is the first one we get. We can just double down on the culture and make 14 a turn. Or we can do a production and a science. Now, normally I go culture. It's really good to have, where we can really push ahead, get those things that we want. Right now we're looking at 5 food, 5 production, 2 culture, and 5 happiness. We can shoot this up to 4 with that 1 policy, or we can get more production. And right now we are sitting in at 8. We could go up to 9. And let's take a look at these. This takes 27 production, so it would still be 3 turns to build that. But it would be 1 extra science, which would get us closer through our tech tree as well. So it's always something to kind of think about. So before we plug that in, let's take a look at what we got going. We got our tree, we got our Roman civics. We definitely want to get these when we can, as soon as we can. We can get to Colosseum roughly about the same time, a little sooner than Antiquity, so that's good. And here we do have some great abilities. The Auxilia is really good. Getting that culture for building units, fantastic for Rome. Fantastic for Rome. And then, of course, the culture on our diplomacy and military buildings, doubling down on more culture. Hey, fantastic. So you want to lean into your civs abilities, not all the way, but a lot. Now, the reason I don't want to say all the way is because if you lean too hard, in my opinion, you can start kind of hurting yourself. So we got to be aware of that. My plan, I think we're going to do discipline. Yeah, we're going to go for this. I want Dersharican. I want to build that. So since we want to build Dersharican, that's 7 turns. And I want to be ready to go on that as soon as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get this brickyard in. Now, where do we put our buildings? Where do buildings go? All right. I use ageless buildings as connectors. Where can I put them to get to where my adjacencies are good for other buildings? That's my process. Ageless building should go on a tile that's not really that important because it's meant to boost other tiles. Like this brickyard, for example. We're going to get production on it. And we're going to get production for improvements, clay pits, mines, and quarries. So this is a booster. Clay pit will boost our mines. So right now this one's getting me 1 production. I put this down. This will be 2 production, like that. Now, we got to think where we want to put it. Because we want to kind of reach out towards areas that will get us adjacency. So, for example, we don't want to put it here. Why? Science buildings get adjacency to resources. This is a 2 adjacency on a science. This is 2 adjacency on science. This is 2 adjacency on science. This little area right here, perfect for my science and production buildings. I don't need to mess with this. We're just going to leave that alone. So we don't need to come over there. Now what about over here? We could put it here. Gets us another 2 adjacency for science. But why bother? We already have it over here. We don't need to deal with that. So I say we put our brickyard here. And here's why. I'm going to go ahead and click it just so you can see it a little easier on why I'm picking it. Because it's a little clearer. All right, there we go. Why am I putting it here? So I can get to these tiles. Why? Because there's a mountain here. And if I go here and here, I will get adjacencies for my culture and happiness buildings on this. Because I want at least 2 at best. 1 is 2, we're like, okay, now we can breathe. 3 or better is what you really want. And we're going to try to accomplish that through a few things. But for now, we're playing the map. We'll work on the adjacencies later on trying to increase them through other means. For now, we're playing the map. We want this to get to here. So that's why we're putting this brickyard down. Now let's go ahead and check the cost of that. So brickyard cost us 1. I say we're going to save because we put 1 turn into this and we can pretty much acquire it a turn faster. So, all right, my bad. Now for our government. Let's take a look at this. What are we doing this age? What are we doing? What is our gameplay? Culture, we can lean more into Rome's abilities, which we're probably going to do. Despotism, are we going to be warring? Yes, there is some science here. Don't let that dissuade you. Are we warring this age or not? I don't think we are. I know we're a military civ. Almost everybody's a military leader in this game. Yeah, whatever. Do I want to war people? Do I want to get my yields through war? I don't. I don't really care. This stuff's great if I'm actively pursuing a armed conflict. I'm not planning on actively pursuing it this age, so despotism's not for me. What about oligarchy? In my opinion, if you're never sure on what to pick, oligarchy's a great just pick it and go type of option. You get gold on your celebrations, you get food if you want to grow your towns. The traditions are pretty good, you kind of all about building up your empire. So oligarchy's all about building yourself up. This is a great, if you're unsure, trying to figure things out, go with this. It's a good surefire way to kind of get used to picking things out. That's what I like to think of oligarchy. It's always a good one. Whether you're new, whether you're a veteran, oligarchy's never a bad way to go. Just my personal opinion. I'm going to do Classical Republic, though. I'm going to lean into our culture even harder. Now, of course, it's like you're mainly wanting to build wonders with this, of course. which I agree with. That's what we're trying to do. We are going to try to grab some wonders. But for the most part, I just want the culture to really push through this. This is kind of more of the culture pick. Honest, or not culture, the wonder pick. You're here to build wonders with this, pretty much. That's your main goal. And we do want to try to do that. So I'm definitely going to pick Classical Republic. We're going to try to get some wonders out. And I definitely want that culture to do it. So for happier settlements, we're going to go up from 12 to 13 here. So let's go ahead and confirm that. All right. Get in here. There we go. Up to 13. Sometimes you have to click a menu to update. A little annoying, but hey, is what it is. All right, we got our other scout. Let's get him going up this way so we can kind of see through these mountains. We're going to have him go through these mountains. Perfect. Lovely. Everything about it is great. Okay, we kind of got a nice peninsula down here. That's good to know. We don't really need to deal with this anymore, so we need to come up this way. All right, now as for our policy, which I forgot to plug in, I'm going harder. I'm going to actually plug in tool making. No, I'm going to do a charismatic leader. No, yeah, my bad. I'm doing a charismatic leader. All right, we're going to do extra palace, so that's going to get us up to 15 now. 15 culture. It's probably still 7 turns on this. Oh, nope, it shaved it down to 6. Sometimes it doesn't fully update, so this should go to 5. We'll find out. Let's see the next turn. So we're going to say 5, or you're going to... Yep, it went to 5, so... Even if it doesn't read it, it will go over to the correct option, so don't worry about that. We could come down here, not really worth scanning the rest. I mean, we know it's open ocean here, so we're going to go this way. We're getting some decent scouting range. Let's go through here. We've gotten through our mountain range. Boom. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. You're going to come up this way. All right, so a lot of coast here. I like that. All right, we should be running into somebody soon, probably. That's usually how this goes. Now, I am going to go in here and show you something. We have put a turn of production into our brickyard. All right, so if we go to purchase, granted, it's not showing it because we're building it, but if we cancel this, it was 108. Now it's 56. So we're going to go ahead and snag this real fast. Boom. We now have a brickyard. 1 extra culture because it's a district. We got extra production because it's down. Fantastic. All right, so let's go over to this. This is why I wanted to do this. So let me back out. Roma is at a 5 population. You need to be at 5 to get settlers out. We have 4 turns until discipline. Once I start building this wonder, however many turns it is, Roma's going to be stuck building it. That is a blessing and a curse. Mostly a curse. Why? Because while it's building it, I can't do anything else. So in that meantime, I'm going to snag a settler real quick. You want to be at your settlement limit as much as possible, as soon as possible. All right? Because the more towns you have down, the more yields you get. Just, it compounds. You want this stuff. So we're going to get a settler out, maybe even 2. Also, you want to claim the land before another person claims the land, especially near you. If someone gets settling near you, that's really bad. They have a better chance, a foothold to take you out. They're closer. You want to be pushing them back. You want them as far away from you as possible. All right, let's snag this. Ooh, 22 culture or 15 food. Now, this culture would be, hey, you're probably thinking, well, Scribe, you want to get that discipline done. You want to get that wonder building. True, true. And it's 22 turns. I could actually get this pretty much set up exact if we do this right. So I'm at 16 per turn. Takes 3 turns. That's going to shave about a 1 off. I could also get the food. 15 food will probably get us. Let's see, we're at 10 right now. Yep, 15 food. We're making 10 a turn. That's a whole turn. We could have another person. Now, in my opinion, I'm going to go with the food. Normally, I'm a culture guy, but here's my thing. I'm getting ready to build a wonder shortly. I want to have this person ready. I want to be 1 turn closer to having more production, because even if I get this, if I don't have the production to build that wonder, I'm in the water. All right, here we go. So 100%, but I get another population, just what I was talking about. Or I can get the influence and start befriending Mesa Verde. That is an option. I am of the mind that I know we'll meet someone very shortly, so this will probably hurt me, but I think we befriend Mesa Verde. I really do. Plus 100% of my happiness. That's delaying my celebrations. Not bad for a population. I do like this influence, though. It's a tough call. I think I actually will take the population, and here's why. I'm going to grab this. Doesn't really... Oh, it did affect my growth rate. That is unfortunate, but that's fine. Let's grow this. We're going to kind of fix that with this. There we go. 3 extra production, plus it's an extra food on Roma. Now we're 1 turn on our settler. This is actually kind of nice. So yeah, maybe that wasn't the best. And look, we have our happiness back. So there we go. We could go for 1 more settler. It takes 2 turns for discipline, or I could have a warrior. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to take another settler. It's best to get this stuff out while we can. All right, I'm going to scout this out a bit more so we have a Ah, look at that. Okay, we have clear ideas where to go now. Ah, and look at that. We've now ran into Hatshepsut. Let me get a scan off. Tusa's out there. Okay, we do want that, but hey, we found Hatshepsut. Let's say hello to her. See, I knew we would find someone almost immediately. Like, they're always nearby. So we might be friendly with her. Horus in human flesh. Hatshepsut, Pharaoh of the Red Lands and the Black Lands. I will be sending her a friendly influence. Yep, we're going to go ahead and do that. All right. And now we could do a research collab with her. Where's she at on the science? Okay, it appears it is not showing. We're going to have to back out then. What is she looking at? All right, she's at 13. So increasing science with her would help her push science further, of course. It also would help us push science as well. So it's kind of give and give, or give and take. How much for Mesa Verde? I know I kind of pushed it off. We can do that next turn. I'm going to wait. I like the idea of getting more science. Not really feeling we have to do that right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave her alone. We sent a friendly greeting. I probably will be friendly with her some more, but I want to befriend Mesa Verde first. It's right here, and it's a science civ, so that's also going to help. All right, so where are we settling? So Roma can only go to here. This town isn't a bad use of time. We do get some hides. We get some wine here. We do not get this fish, but we can get these pearls. It's all around not a bad location. We can even hit this gold up here, so I'm not entirely opposed to it. However, where my scout is offers a pretty good location too, or near it. Also, there's out here. Now, in my opinion, we should probably come out this way. Why? We know Hatshepsut. Oh, there we go. There's Waset right there. We probably want to settle towards her. We want to make sure we have a good grasp of our land before she gets near us. So where do we want to go? This is where the game is recommending. Where's Roma at? Roma would stop growing here. So that's nice. I don't really think we need to go here. We could probably go here. We got a nice 3 tile. Unfortunately, we kind of lose our 2. We do eat up a lot of this lake area, which I like. Okay, we can come all the way out to here. There's some ivory. There's some salt. We got some cotton. Oh, we could also put our science right here too. We can contest with that, but don't have to. Yeah, I kind of like 1 tile over myself. Okay, yeah, either one can take that. Plus, we get the other half of the mountains to work with. So I'm going to go here. So we're going to go right there. This area down here is not bad, but I definitely like this. We want to take up as much land as possible so she can't get too close to us. All right, she's getting hit. She took that discoverable from us. That is unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right, now we got a support. Before we select this, which we won't be able to, I'm going to befriend Mesa Verde. We're going to start befriending him. I'll use this with 5 influence. We do not have enough to accept her or to support it, but we can still accept it, and we will. Now, she's going to get 4 culture. We're going to get 2. It's not terrible, but it is going to help her out more than us. Regardless, we're doing our own thing, so that's how we go. All right, we've got this going. What is next? Irrigation, perhaps? I wouldn't mind some irrigation. Possibly get a hanging gardens out here. There's some room for it. We could definitely put down a hanging gardens. Not opposed to it. Could go for masonry. Definitely get that culture spinning some more. Not bad. I'm actually going to do writing, and here's why. Our monument would snowball our culture even more. I agree with that. However, our science is kind of lagging. So we should get our science, get through writing. We can put down a library that'll help push our science even harder. So that's kind of my thought process on that. All right, now let's keep going through here. All right, let's explore this way, get another search off. All right, very good land down here. See, this is why you don't always want to pick where it recommends. Not saying that that's bad, but the game's only going to give you recommendations based on what you know. So what have I revealed? What works for us? And looking more at this tile is starting to look even better. Yeah. I definitely want this lake. It stops right there, which means I can get a good settle around here. We definitely want this gold, so we're definitely going to do that. Yep, so we're heading out that way. That was a good option. All right, there's Drasharican. We've got ourselves a Legatus. That's great. So we got a free commander. Let's check our policies. Not really anything I want to change, although actually we could, and I think we will. I'm going to grab this extra production right now. And the reason being is Drasharican is now 10 turns. And now this is what I was talking about. Let me back up first. I think I'm going to buy a guy real quick. Let me get a warrior. There we go. We're going to keep our Legatus here for a turn. You're moving. That's fine. Okay, train a warrior and a slinger, and we get a warrior. I'm going to build a library. So we're going to go for this culture here. So we're going to go for that because we will be focusing on the library. Let me do a few things. Ah, yes, the gold. Perfect. This is now, so it compounds. I have 2 gold resources So this is 2 gold and 2 happiness in all settlements, which is actually 3 gold. So 3 gold, 2 happiness, 1 food. And that's just Roma. I put down another town, compounds. So that would be 3, and then that town. And that, see, it's going to keep growing. It's fantastic. This legatus, I actually will move now that I changed my mind. Because every time we put down a town, we get a infantry unit out of that town. So him going up here to protect this would be great. I don't want my scout to get hurt, so we're going to run away from this and search. Slinger won't do anything. Hattusa might befriend, might not. Haven't decided yet. All right, so now let's get into our civics here. We could go for discipline too. I'm not really feeling worry. I am feeling probably mysticism would be a great way to go. One thing I will point out, though, this Auxilia 1, getting culture for training units, this also counts for when you put down a town and get a unit. So just so you know that. So getting through this is actually, it's kind of nice to have. For now, I'm going to do mysticism. I'm going to try to, I want that altar. All right, so we're going to go through our units a bit more here, finish this up, and then I will explain the adjacency a bit more. All right, let's get this a search off. Fantastic. All right, we're going to finish our settler. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that does delay this a turn. However, not a big deal. So Dersharican, we want to build it. We're going to get science on our fortifications in this settlement. That's the reason I want it. Charlemagne wants happiness. He gets happiness on fortifications. Well, let's add science on it too. Why not? Also, the AI loves this wonder, so there's a good chance we might not get it. But we're going to try. All right, so Dersharican, where are we going to put it? We could put it here, make a double for our culture. Put it here, make a triple for our culture. Or we could put it here. Here, like, the greens are where we can put it. You know, we can put this wherever we want. I'm going to put it here. This will move the clay pit. So that's, you know, we can move our person. If we get this, that makes this a 3 and this a 3 for science and production. That's a really big deal. That's really good. So that's our plan. We're going to put that there. Now, as you can see, it's not placed yet because we're finishing up our settler. And we're going to go ahead and finish that settler too. So let's finish up the settler, get that done. Also, one thing to note is that when you build, I got to go around here. When you go to buy units, you can't decrease the purchase of a unit through building. At least I don't think so. I would have to check that. Either way, usually not the case. All right, so we're putting down Dersharican. Let's grow our city because we crushed this tile. We now have a movement of where we can put a person. Now, don't get me wrong, this food is fantastic, but we are wonder building. And since we are wonder building, I want more production. We lost 2 of it. We want to keep 2 of it. So I'm going to put him here. We've got 8 turns on this thing. So we're going to try. All right, we're going to keep scouting. We got this settler out. We're almost in position here. So we got to think. We're 3 tiles away. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it ends right here pretty much. So in my opinion, see, it changed the recommendation because now we know more. Do we want to go here? 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Not bad. Not bad. Not great either. I don't like that spot. I want to move. I think we should actually come out further. Right here, I think, is going to be ideal. Because we can come up to here. We can trade tiles between if we want. That doesn't matter, though. This secures gold. Gold. Look at that. Boom. Plus, we can get this river if we need it. Oh, yeah. Look at this. This seems like the ideal spot to me. Also, it has a ton of adjacencies. So we're going to go this way. There's another reason I focus on these. Yeah, I could settle here, here, and here. You know, wherever it recommends. My first 2 settles out, I'm focused on city location, most likely. Because these 2 settles are going to be, other than my capital, the longest settles in the game. They're going to stick with me pretty much forever. Unless they get taken or something else happens. So I want to focus on them hard on where are they going. Because they are going to be my most important places besides where I am. Now, this looks dangerous, but we're right where we need to be. So watch this magic. Look at that. We're going to keep him in place. I want to get my legatus in here. That way we can, you know, get some XP on him and actually put down another town. So let's get him going. You're moving. That's great. We have now met Xerxes the Achaemenid. So let's say hello to him. There is one head alone that sits at the center of the world, and it is his. Well, we're going to send him a friendly delegation. Might as well. Now that we have a second person, sadly we have to wait a turn, but let's take a look. I want to send him science. I want to send him culture, if we had it. See, I want to send him stuff. Why? He's closer to score to me than I am to Hatshepsut. So giving him a little extra boost won't be as bad as sending Hatshepsut extra boosts. Just saying. All right, now we put this down. We do have a growth rate. Now this would be pretty good. Grasslands, tundra, and marine biomes. Is this considered tundra? I don't think it is. It's flat grassland. All right, so let's check this marble again. Oh, grassland. Hey, we're going to take that. Yep, we're going to snag that. We're building a wonder right now. Boom. Yep, we want to get that going. Normally, I don't take these percentages, but hey, we're building a wonder right now, and I want it right now. So, yeah, there you go. All right, so here's Parsa. That means this settle is even better than I thought. Yeah, we're trying to make sure we can't stop them from settling near us entirely, but we can stop them from getting the spots very close to us. And I think Aquila is a great addition. All right, let's get you right here. Oh, yeah. Start getting that XP. 4 XP, look at that. Wonderful. Okay. Hey, look at that. Mesa Vader is giving us 12 science. 1 turn closer on that writing. Fantastic. We're going to try to go up this way. Looks like she's also trying to settle kind of near herself. I would love to kind of push out a little further. Yeah, I want to try to go a little farther than where we're at. All right, let's go ahead and do this and this. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, we'll go up this way. I think we're kind of in our areas. I'm a little curious about some things that we are about to check as well. Okay, let's move on. All right, we're getting closer to where we need to be. Perfect. Ah, okay, so I'm slightly bummed. Yeah, he died, which is fine. But since he died to city walls, my guy did not get an upgrade. All right, let me pack this in. There we go. You know what? We're going to go ahead and take this unit out. I almost moved my commander up 1. That would have been dangerous. All right, there we go. Yeah, you want to have your commander, since we don't know where the enemy is, you want to make sure that you're at least got a unit on him. Otherwise, he will take damage and die very quickly. And we don't want that. All right, now looking at where to go next. We have quite a few options. I want to actually keep this ivory probably for the capital, maybe. We'll see. So I'm not really worried about coming out this way. Also, if we're going to make Aquila into a city, we don't really need to grab this tile right now. Also, it's production and culture. That's great. If we're growing, we're not growing right now. We need food. This place needs to grow. So that's what we need to do. So, speaking of which, camels. Wonderful. You get 2 resource capacity in a city. We don't really need that right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Haven't even reached a resource to slot yet. So, what whoop-de-doo on the camels. All right. No one cares. We'll get to that eventually. For now, I'm going to go right here. I want to get to this lovely cotton, because that is 2 food and 2 production on that resource. So if it's in Aquila, that's 4 food, depending. Oh, my bad. Did not mean to do that. There we go. Yep, grow the town. So we're going to grab this extra food and head out this way, or we could grab this extra food and head out this way. Both are good options because it also depends on where Hatshepsut settles. For now, I want to get this cotton, because this is actually better, even though we're kind of growing back towards ourselves. Because once we get this cotton, we can start, you know, growing really well. All right, now for our celebration, we're building a wonder. So in we go. Oh, and we get a policy slot. Let's get that culture back, huh? Back up to 22, huh? That looks pretty healthy. All right, let's go ahead and jump across here. We want to keep kind of exploring this way with our scout while we can. And this scout will kind of bring... Oh, I got to bring him back over. This is a cliff. He can't get through here, which means this would be a good defensive settle. If we go out that far. I mean, we have to think about Parsa here, too. Speaking of which, I could go down one. I think we should go around him. That's probably more beneficial for the scouting. Now, one thing I want to check. We're about to get in position. Let's look at our dedications here. View the legacies. Really, I'm not aiming for anything in particular as of yet. This would be great for next stage, because these are major triumphs. This is for what we will use next age. So you can look at this as you want. For the most part, you can pretty much go for whatever. The only ones you would have to notice is where it says first. So if you don't get it first, well, you don't get it. You know, kind of self-explanatory. You know, so what are you going for? You might want to focus on that earlier then, but don't be beholden to it. It won't make or break you. Actually, it could break you if you focus on it too hard, in my opinion. So just be wary. 7 wonders, we'll see what happens there. Maybe, maybe not. All right, so as for the rest of this, we'll kind of move on. It's things to look at, kind of focus on, you know. That some of these just kind of happen as you play, so, you know, that's fine. But let's get down here to the minors. Now, the minor triumphs, you get this, you get the reward instant, which means it is for this age. You want it, but it takes time to get there. Philosophy, it takes a while to get to philosophy, and then for 1 happiness on culture buildings, don't get me wrong, that's great, but how soon are you going to get to philosophy? Like, you can aim towards that goal, but be sure you're building, you know, yourself up where you're not going to fail if you miss this. Just keep that in mind. Now, what I want to check... Ah, lovely. Okay, we have 3 natural wonders. Breathtaking tiles, instant, probably not going to happen. Just a given. I haven't seen a natural wonder near me, which already shows what's going on. So there's that. But the other thing. Looks like we're a rather large continent, my friends. We have a total of 6 of us on this continent. 5 other people and me. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but that gives me an idea kind of how this game's going to play out. And to be fair, one downside, I might have to war somebody depending on where we settle because, yeah, there's land out here, but I can get hemmed in really quickly. Like, luckily, Xerxes settled somewhere else, not towards me. I'm kind of settling towards them because, well, look, I mean, come on. I definitely want to see if I... Oh, yeah, I want to settle up here, too. We'll see how things go. One thing at a time. Because if you do what I do and go, oh, look at this, look at that. Oh, man, I can do this, I can do that. And it's so far away from you, and then you don't get it. And then you get upset. And then you think, hey, I should probably war people because they made me upset. Not that that would happen. All right, I want to take this out and get this gold rolling because we'd start making a ton of money. I'm not going to do that just yet. Right now, our gold and silver that we have in our capital is providing this. So we don't need priesthood right this second. So we'll hold off. I do love gold, but I'd rather have this production. Try to finish this wonder out if we can. We do have a diplomatic action. We could go ahead and look at that. Before we do, let's take a look at our Pantheon. All right, so someone already took Pantheon. All right, looks like they took a few of them. Oh, they have left stone circles available for us. Now, that might be a good idea to take. Let's just see if there's anything else, you know. We could do 10% on wonder construction. We can get science on quarters and district, or on quarters. Or we can get culture on quarters, you know, really boost ourselves up that way. Really nice. We could increase our growth rate in our settlements with an altar. Really not bad. All good things. The healing, never really... with an altar in the capital. Okay, so that looks like that's more of a capital thing. I don't really like that. This can be good if you want to increase your gold, but do we have a lot of forests? Not really. I mean, we have a few, but not enough for me to really care about this. All right, and then this is if we want to get our buildings built faster. You know, if we're really hurting on that, not a bad idea. But in my opinion, why go for percentage when you can go for raw production? You know what I mean? Because our production is currently in Rome, for example, 17. We're only going to get a 1. You know, that's not... We'd at least need 20 to get 2. And with that regard, you're better off just going for something else. God of the Sun's always good. You get a 1 of everything. I mean, that's never bad. Producing military units, that's not bad if you're warring, you know. In my personal opinion, okay, Sacred Waters, that could be fun, maybe. I'm going to go stone circles. Just raw production, just adding 1 production on all of my tiles that are this is way better, in my opinion. So we're going to go stone circles. Acquire that. Now, I will admit, if you're the Maria and you can get 2 Pantheon abilities, dude, you do stone circles and 10% production towards buildings, or, you know, you tack on a production and a production. Oh, now you're talking. Now I'll admit that percentage is looking pretty good. All right, Xerxes, what you offering me? 30 for a culture support. Maybe. Actually, I will just accept it because I don't really feel like I want 6 culture. Now, it would make me ahead of Hatshepsut, but I have another diplomatic action. So let's see what this one is. Gold per turn. Now that's something I can get behind. I will support that. That's 6 extra gold a turn. That equates to me buying and building things. Like if I can come into Roma here, get closer to a purchase. Now, of course, that altar is pretty expensive. Pretty hefty. But that saw pit, look at that. I'm almost up to... I definitely will be at 109. I could buy that saw pit outright next turn, which might not be a bad idea. We do have some saw pits. Plus, it'll become a quarter. That's all bonuses right there. All right. Now, we have finished these. We could go for these if we want to get more wonders. Wonders are fantastic. Love them. I do love them. But what are we doing? What are we doing? Coming into here would be pretty good. Getting these. Also, getting Code of Laws would be pretty nice. We could try for a Petra. I do like me a good Petra. And honestly, Aquila has some options. This city does not. And Roma, would be wasted. But over here we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's not really that ideal. Not that great. Now, the merchant's great. Don't get me wrong, but we really don't need to focus on Petra. We need to do another settle. I mean, I'm particular on my Petra. I know it's still a wonder in that, but in my opinion, read this here. You're getting production on improvements and gold on districts in desert terrain. I want a lot of desert for my Petra. Just saying. So in my opinion, we're going to scrap all this right now. We're going to go in here. I think we want to get temporal Jupiter. We're going to start with that. Now, we might not build these buildings right away, but we will want to have them available. So let's go ahead and get up here. All right, she has found her second town. I will admit we're not too far ahead of the AI, obviously, but settlement-wise, we are. And that is what, I almost went the wrong way, and that is what I am happy about. So the total yields were down, you know, or even. But settlement-wise, we are roughly, okay, well, this just doesn't matter. Oh, that hurts a little bit. Let's get up here. Minor defeat. We're going to go ahead and do it. There we go. Promotion. Lovely. Let's go ahead and get this Legatus going. I'm going to do Assault. There we go. That way we can pack and unpack. If we need to, we can snag a little slinger. Get in here. Let me check Mesa Verde, speaking of which. All right, good. We're going to have a suzerainty in 2 turns. That's great. All right, back to this. I'm going to try to fortify, maybe, if we have to pull back. Actually, this is great. If we level up our Legatus, we don't have to train a settler, and we can go settle again, which would be great. But as I was saying with settlements, I am even with them and about to be ahead, which is really good because I want to make sure you want to keep this number high. All right, we've unlocked the library. That's fantastic. All right, I'm going to come in here and make me a purchase. I'm buying this saw pit. Yeah, I'm buying that. Look at that. I'm getting a boost. I'm adding more production to this district, and I'm getting a science and culture because it is a quarter next to our palace. So let's go ahead and plug that in. Boom. Now, obviously, it didn't take right away. Oh, my bad. It goes on the palace. Yeah, it puts it on the palace. So now we're looking pretty good on this. All right, let's get in here into the narrative choice. 12 culture, 25 for the celebration. We're currently in a celebration. Let's go ahead and just take some culture. Really try to push through our unique area right now. Okay. As for science, masonry's starting to look pretty good. We got some areas up here for some culture. Irrigation's pretty nice. Get an extra settlement limit. And that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going for irrigation first. I would like to go for hanging gardens, but if we look here, Xerxes is at 2 of 4. He has probably already done irrigation, so he has the potential to beat us to hanging gardens. So that is unfortunate. I'm just going to do another search on accident. I want to get through here, so I need her to kind of move. All right, let's get up here. Pop off. Ooh, well, look at that. We've met the Maria, just what I was saying. They are very good. All right, look at that. He's doing great on the science. We're not doing terrible. We're actually doing pretty decent. I like how we're kind of even on the culture for now. All right, so we've met Ashoka, the great king at the center of the world, and Profound Sinner. So it looks like he is the world renouncer. Well, we'll send him a friendly influence. Sadly, we cannot offer anything as of yet because we're 5 short. So we're just going to hold that. All right. Is this a whole turn? I hope not. It was. Okay. Well, that is what it is. That's a minor defeat. We're going to heal. I think the slinger can hit him, which would be a little detrimental to us, but so be it. All right, I like where we're at. Let's get this placed. Boom, there's Ostia. So yeah, we do have some contesting in the center here. Not a big deal, though. Not a big deal. All right, now let's grow. Where are we going to grow to is the question. Well, let's take a look. What do we got here for the ivory? Tropical, plains, and desert. Well, we're on a grasslands right now, so we don't really need that. I say we go here, opens up the wine and the gold for us, plus it is 2 food. So I really like that. Oh, well, that's 2 food. That is pretty good. But I want to get to these first. I'd rather have the gold and the wine available to us. All right, good. We can slip through here. Ooh, that looks dangerous. Oh, we have found the Grand Canyon. Lovely. And looks like Xerxes has acquired it. So one bonus to this is Grand Canyon gets science to flat terrain in this settlement. So he has a few options for himself. Unfortunately, not the settle choice I would have picked. I would have moved around a bit more. I would have went more towards this flat stuff. He's in pretty rough terrain. But still, a little extra science, plus the yields alone are great. 2 culture, 4 happiness. That's good for him. All right, looking over here, we're at 3 of 3, which I do enjoy. That is very nice. All right, so let's continue on. Let's watch this war effort a little bit. Okay, they're kind of moving around on us, which isn't bad. That can work out. That can work out. All right, we're 1 turn on this wonder, which means we'll probably lose it. That's just the way of the game most of the time. But hey, let's fingers cross it. All right, so we have Mesa Verde here. What are we doing? We've got an ability. We can get a free tech. Actually, looking at where we're at, I am going to snag a free tech, I think. That sounds really good right now. Let's see what else do we got. We can get science on codices. We don't have any codices right now. We can get science on brickyards and harbors. I just have brickyards. I mean, that's not bad. Archimedes Screw is still a fantastic ability. We can make our buildings better with each city-state that is a science one. While this is the only one, so I don't really care. Science on science buildings never hurts. That's always a great just, crank it up. And then step pyramids. that extra happiness is pretty good. However, they do have to be... Okay, that's happiness for adjacent river tiles. It must be placed on a tile with a natural appeal, which means it has to have a happiness on it. So we could put step pyramids all over in this place. This wouldn't be a bad spot. This would be pretty good too, because it's adjacent to a river. Yeah, there's some locations for it. That's not bad. So that's pretty good. Oh, get me out of there. That's stuff we can look at in a second. In my opinion, though, I like all this science. I'm just going to go ahead and grab me a free tech, though. Let's just get us out of there. That gave us masonry too. Oh, just masonry. Oh, that's beautiful. That's actually going to be really good for us. I should have went for this, and here's why. If we get Shuriken, every time I build up a wall, I get a science. So, yeah, that's kind of nice. We'll have to see if we get it. So, fingers crossed. Now, back to Mesa Verde here. One little thing you can do. Now that we have Sued it, we can mess with stuff. We can ask them to grow to get tiles. So that way when we trade with them, they have more resources. So they're better allies with us. Yeah, they're a better benefit to us. We can bolster their military if we feel like, hey, you know, they're about to get killed. We need to help them out. We can levy their units. If we target here, we can snag one of these. Instead of buying, we get it for influence instead. And then there's incorporation. That's where we turn this area into a city. Or a town, I mean. So we could turn Mesa Verde into an area for us to use. Also, wow, that is a lot of fresh water. I wish I could actually... Okay, I can't afford that or do it. I would love to have his galleon explore. But either way, there's that. Also, another reason to have him Sued. I can now come up here rather risk-free. I don't have to worry about upsetting him when I settle up here if I get to settle up here. There's a good chance Hatshepsut might kind of come here and claim. We'll just have to see. Anyway, let's move on. We're growing again. Let's grab this lovely cotton. That is fantastic. Now we will be moving that. Aquila growing is great, but Roma building is better. Oh, and then look at that. We have the option of 3 food in our towns. I will agree to this. That will help all of our towns grow, and I have more towns than all of them. So that's big news for me. Ashoka dislikes a leader with the lowest happiness. Well, good for him. I don't really care. All right, so defenseless settlement. This isn't defenseless. That's kind of funny. But all right, I'm going to bring my warrior out this way. Here would be dumb because he's hurt and he would have got hit twice. Now, I could win this. I'm not going to. I'm going to fortify, and I'm going to have him keep healing. All right. So 2 food and 2 production. This is actually 2 gold in a town. Production equals gold in towns. So watch this. If I move it out, just in general, yep, we lose 2 production, which means we lost 2 gold. Production equals gold in towns. All right, now the cotton, we're going to go in here. I want my production in Roma to be high. I want to finish this wonder. I want to push things out, because look at this. 3 turns, 2 turns. I want this stuff building, okay? That's what we want. All right, apparently this is a cliff, so I don't think we have enough influence to ask her. We do not. Okay, in that case, we're just going to have to come back down, unfortunately. We're going to bring him over. Okay, Pataliputra's right there, so these guys are very crunched together. Interesting. So we actually have a very... I'm actually going to keep this guy here just for safety purposes. We're actually in a very lucky situation with where we're at, because everybody's kind of to our right, so we don't have to worry too much on our left. That is very good to know. Oh, yeah, I would like to kind of get through here. All right, I know we already did that. All right, let's hit next turn. Before we do, let's come over here. Are we getting Shuriken, yes or no? Please tell me yes. Please, game, don't. Yes. All right, we've acquired Shuriken. From this day forward, your pronouncement shall be unchangeable, to raise or bring low. These shall be in your hand. Enuma Ellis. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. So that means all of our lovely fortifications give us science as well. Plus, this one counts as a fortification, so it gets science on it right away. Oh, thank goodness. Now we're opening up this area. We also have a 3 over here. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but there we go. We're back over here. We're going to acquire the wine first. Reason being, this is some nice food for Ostia. Also, we get, this is actually 4 happiness. 2 here and then 2 in the capital, which gets us closer to our celebrations. And then when we enter celebrations, we then get 5 culture. So we're really trying to play into Charlemagne's celebration abilities. Speaking of which, now let's get the ball rolling. This altar looks great. We could acquire that. Let's go ahead and put the altar in. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and put that in. That's 4 production we can get. And then after that, we are definitely going to put this library in. Look at this lovely 6. Oh, beautiful. We can go either way. Also, I'm getting happiness because this is considered a fortification district. So it's a fortification, so it gives me happiness on my science building. So we'll kind of do this up real quick. And then once we get these, we'll see about probably the monument next. All right. Give me a search here. That's one extra tile. All right. This is what I'm worried about. Hatshepsut has her unique quarter in, so she can get these guys. I'm trying to remember. Are they the Medjay? I don't think they're the Medjay. No, the Medjay's the unique. Oh, the Tajati. So Tajatis are wonderful if you're playing Egypt because she can use them to finish up wonder production like crazy. It is insane. Lovely ability. Lovely ability. Okay, I'm going to have you heal. You're mostly healed, so let's do a little jumble around. Bring him up. Oh, one thing before we attack. So, your unit that is attacking has to be getting kills inside the command radius. So if a slinger gets this kill, we're good because he's in the command radius. But when this warrior steps out, I will not get a level. So we actually need to move over one and get our XP this way. There we go. Well, since he didn't kill him, we would have got it anyway. But if he had killed him and stepped out, we would not have got the XP. So just keep that in mind. All right, this guy, I want to try to get through. Let's see if he's willing to open up them borders. He is fantastic, which means I actually want to come this way because there's a discoverable right there I want. All right, beautiful. We're moving along pretty well, actually. Oh, see, there we go. Hogmatana. It's not bad. It's nothing to worry about, but he is starting to come this way, so we do have to keep that in mind. Okay, we have Temple of Jupiter, and we have the Auxilia, which is great. We could change our policies if we want. This is not bad to have. Almost feel like I should do it, because once we do another settle, that's another unit, and that unit would give me culture. If I start building up a military, I definitely want to put this in and get culture off of it. I'm going to leave things as they are for now, though. All right, we're growing our town. Got some lovely areas to go. We are going to crush... Okay, this will be crushed, and then this will eventually be crushed as well. So we got to see where we want to go. We could do 2 food, 2 production, 1 happiness. Or we can get some extra happiness. Or we can get extra food, because this is actually 5 food in the capital. And I'm actually feeling that. Yeah, let's secure this. Let's get our borders fully expanded for Roma. Plus, once we get another city up and going, this will be great to put into it. All right, now where are we going? We're going to enter Petra yet? I don't think we will. We are actually getting close to doing a culture building. So I will do Civis Romanus real quick, because that actually is a great idea. I'm going to keep this as is. Let's move on. Right, I'm just shy of 2, so we're going to skip this for a second. See if we can get her to open her borders up. All right, he's got Grinagara going, good for him. All right, we got to keep moving units around. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this off. So that will give us XP. Wonderful. We're going to bring you in and bring you out just in case. Just in case. All right, good. And we're inside our border, so we actually heal faster. So that's also nice. All right, let's snag this. All right, so we can lose 25 gold, but I gain the earliest available tech. Or I can get 25 gold. Yeah, I'll spend 25 gold for earliest available tech. It's probably going to give me Hanging Gardens, but whatever. Yeah, you really think I'm going to complain about that? That's 4 turns of technology I can put somewhere else. Yeah, that's not bad at all. You kidding me? Yeah, we're going to move on from that. Oh, I can get sailing for free. I will actually acquire sailing for free. I will do that real quick, and then we will move on. So the reason I want sailing now is 1, Ostia's coastal, and 2, Roma. Once we put in this library, we will be able to have access to the ocean. I don't really care for these tiles, but I can build boats with having that. So, yeah, it is nice to have. Also, you could explore more. Do more exploration, please. All right, moving on. All right, we're going to get hit with a slinger, I believe. Yep, so it's a good thing we put our guy down. All right, there's our harbor that we got for free. I don't like the fact it shows 0 and you still have to put it in and waste a turn, but whatever. I will take the 12 science, because right now we're at 13 science, so this equals basically a turn of science. But before we do it, let's get a tech open. Where are we going? We could get a codicy. That equals more science. That'd help us along. Currency. Colossus is something they go for, like, I don't know. They're just insane on that, okay? I'm going to do bronze working. We want this military building. It's going to get happiness from that. We're going to get production. We want to work towards this. All right, so that's what we're going to work towards. So let's go ahead and get in here. Let's grab some extra science. See, we just shaved a turn off of that. All right, 25 for a celebration or 12 culture. This is half of my culture per turn, so this really isn't worth it. It can be, but we're past this. I'd rather have the happiness. This is only 5 less, but that's still about a turn off, so that's pretty good. Okay, now as for where we're going next, camels still not really on the radar right now, so we're going to go right here, grab more of this land. Okay, now speaking of which, we're getting up there in gold again. We can't afford them yet, but we do want to be putting down some buildings to increase our towns and make them better. We do want to do that. One thing I will think about though, let's go ahead and snag us a slinger for 60. I think that would be a great idea. All right, now this guy's taking some hardy damage. I don't like that. This, he might die. I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway to kind of help this guy live. Or we could just double down on it and just do one of these bad boys. There we go. Yeah, that guy's probably going to die now that he's out there by himself. All right, wonderful. We're going to acquire this gold. More gold in each of our towns. Really big stuff. Oh, the commander has a level. I forgot to do that. We have more infantry units right now, so I'm going to increase their combat strength on attacking. We have enough. Let's see if Shep's is willing to open them borders for us. She is. Fantastic. All right, let's get in there and start seeing the world, shall we? All right, we're going to go up this way, kind of get across. All right, have 50 excess happiness. Someone has already acquired that. Now, anybody, we all can get that. Like, that's not blocked off because of someone got it. That's available to everyone still. All right, got some good areas. Looks like he is building Gate of All Nations. That is his right. That is his wonder. All right, we're on to our library here. This will really push our science per turn up. That's going to really start cranking us into decent territory. So that's going to be lovely. Okay, yep, we lost our warrior. We knew that would happen. That was a given. And she has befriended Hazusa, so we don't even have to worry about it. I'm not thrilled on that, but yeah, whatever. We're just going to have to accept this. We don't have enough influence, which is fine. It happens. All right, let's get snaked through these mountains. Good grief, look at the mountains. All right, we're going to stay on this side of the mountains. All right, we're just going to do this. I don't need open borders with him to look around. All right, let's go down here. All right, not too bad. Oh, we do have sailing, so we actually can get our scouts in the water. That is a positive as well. Okay, we do want to get a settle around here somewhere, probably. Now that Ostia is kind of taken up most of this, I don't really want to settle here. We'd probably move down a little bit. Probably somewhere in these tiles, maybe. We'll just have to see. For now, let's keep going. We're going to get our library up and running, which is going to be great. Boom. We finished another thing, which we will change our policies for. Drop this palace. We're going to take 2 on diplomacy and military buildings because we're going to put down our monument. So we're up to 19 science a turn now. Not great, but not terrible. Oh, 24 more culture. Don't mind if I do. That was from completing the narrative choice. Ah, here we go. So this is one thing someone asked me once. They were like, hey, why did you not go for a wonderful attribute point and just take straight up yields? It kind of depends. What are we doing? So, in my opinion, a scientific attribute point, how much is that going to offer us? It's going to offer us a lot. All right. That is a science per age on palace and city halls. That's a big, big boost. I forget what the other one was. It's still good. All the basics are fantastic attribute points to have, of course. Don't get me wrong, they are. It's just, are we willing to wait a certain amount of time to get an attribute point that might not really pay off? It depends. Now, in this one, that scientific attribute point will pay off eventually, and it'll pay off in a big way. Plus, I am going to build 2 markets. Oh, I remember what the other one was. I had to find all the homeland civs. And I knew from checking that there was like 8 or 10 of them. So it'd be like till the end of the age. Because everybody was on the same continent. And I was like, I'm not doing that. This, however, this is beholden to me making 2 markets. I can kind of do that. You know, like I can do that. Plus the 12 culture. I already make 25. That's half my culture right now over a scientific attribute point. Get out of here. I'm taking this. Yeah, I'm definitely taking that attribute point. So we're going to work towards that. All right, so we have a story to tell. Ryder's doing some quill stuff. Hey, sounds like he's being a scribe. They've spent countless hours writing down words only to scratch them out and rewrite them. All will be worth it if just one reader finds joy in this text. One must write every day to improve. Inspiration only strikes when it wills. Oh, I'm going to tell you in real life this is not true. This is the truth. Okay. You must write every day to improve. Okay, that's a given. Also, I want a codex, so yeah, I'm doing that. Because that codex actually equals a lovely... Oh, wrong button. Here we are. Equals 2 science, so that boosts us up to a nice 21. So we're being pretty even. Ooh. Supporting gold. Maybe. Or, hey, Xerxes, how about you and I do a research collab together? So let's send him that... It's a bummer I'm only going to get 2 gold, but I'd rather have the science. Plus, that brings us up to a healthy 25-25. All right, which we are going to break very soon. All right, Hanging Gardens is available. I probably will want to build that, actually. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I extremely want to build this. Okay, so here's why. If I go here, this becomes a 4 adjacency. Okay, I know I could put it here and make this one 4, but if I go here, and then I do my other buildings later, ooh, that's going to be big. Or I can come out here. If I go here, I make this a double. If I go here, I make this a triple for our cultures. So that's also good as well. But I do I do be liking that science, I will admit. I do like the science. So, yeah, we will shoot for hanging gardens right there. I'm going to try to grab that real quick. We can't buy anything as of yet. That's fine. Where else would I want to look at things? That's another thing, though. My Basilica and Temple of Jupiter. If I were to move this over here, I could actually build up a pretty good Basilica and Temple of Jupiter, but we'll look at that later. So I'm going to go for hanging gardens for 5 turns. As for my monument, I am going to want to put that in, and I'm going to go here. Yep, I'm going to go for a double. Now, the thing about adjacencies is you got to kind of figure out which one do you want to do. Also, oh, yeah, I'm going to go down this culture tree some more. Yeah, we're still not at a Petra base. We're probably going to lose Petra, which is not a surprise. Oh, hey, I'll snag that. All right. Beautiful. I might start autoing these guys. Let me just get over here, check this out a bit more. All right, so adjacencies, right. So you have to wonder about adjacencies. You're like, hey, you're going to make this a 4. Why not put it here and make this one a 4? You're right. I could increase this by 1. That's not a bad idea. Brings me up to 7 science a turn. 1 little extra science. Hooray. You have to kind of decide, do you want your adjacencies to boost your small buildings to get decent yields? Or do you want your adjacencies to boost your big yields and get even bigger yields? So it's kind of hit or miss. You got to kind of decide on that. Both are viable. I want to say that now. Both are viable. There's no really right or wrong. It's just kind of like in your situation, what are you going to do? Ooh, I do want this tile. Okay, actually, this tile might go to Aquila because I can actually get in here. All right, what are we looking at? I'm going to go ahead and acquire this ivory. I'm not building anything, but that 2 food's going to be great. Plus, I can get out to this gold and stuff that I need. All right. What are we looking at? I can only accept this because we're short on influence, which is why I do need that monument. I'm actually not that short. Man, 40 science, though. At least we're doing pretty good on the cult. Well, never mind. His chefs just went up to 50. We are building a wonder, so of course we'll add that in. And let's see here. Let's go for, golden settlements. That's going to push us up to an extra 6 gold a turn. Lovely. Let's snag this bad boy. 100 science, get 10 production. Or 22 culture. That's how much production? I don't know if that's going to finish my hanging gardens. That is 10. How much production am I making right now? Okay, that's about half. Well, a little under half. About a third of my production. Let's grab the culture. Yeah, that shaves a turn off of our culture. That's pretty good. All right, we're going to go down this way. For you, get up here. 1 more. Get a search off. Okay, he has a good settle possibility over here. I am at 3 of 4. I should actually get another settle down. I'm at 100. I cannot buy a settler here. It's 180. Ooh, it's steep. Aquila. Yeah, I'm probably going to buy something in Aquila first for buildings. All right, that's pyramids from Shepset. That's not a surprise. She is Egypt. We have a diplomatic action to do. All right, what are we doing here? Okay, I can get to this ivory. I could get to this salt. I'm going to go for this. Yeah, let's head for those rubies. That actually is all the way for the rubies, too. Like, we can't go any further. All that's left is acquiring this lake. That is a 3. Oh, man, that's pretty good. 3. It's actually a pretty good double. Also, a fantastic observatory building next stage. It's also great for my cultures, too, but I can do culture right here. Okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. We'll have to see. All right, I can only accept this, so we will accept and move on. All right, so what is our commands? Definitely getting up here. That's what it is. And these guys really aren't exploring their map too much, are they? All right, there we go. Okay, we've almost finished this. Once I kind of explore this, he's going auto, and then I might auto him as well. This is a nice inland sea, but not really. You could get Hogmatana, or he could, if he messes with Hogmatana, he could go for Grinagara. That's about it, really. So where are we at turn-wise? 2 turns on hanging. Let's see if we get it. That's probably gate. Yep, Xerxes grabbing gate. That's fine. All right, let's snag this. Oh, we found blue hole. Great. That is great for culture. So let's see. Do we want to miss our culture for a turn and get 37 happiness? No. 5 production in Roma, really. Fine, I'll take it. Yeah, blue hole's great. You get 2 culture for all improved marine around it. Oh, that is fantastic. All right, let's get up here. Good. Let me get down here. All right, that pretty much takes care of that, doesn't it? Is that a 6? Okay, it is a 6. All right, our Legatus is healed up. Oh, and he does have 3 levels, so he can found a city, actually, which we are going to move him to do. I don't know where exactly, but we're going up here somewhere. That's a given, if we can make it. We might go for a place that will tick off a Shepset, but so be it. All right, we got the Hanging Gardens, canal water gushing around. You know it. And we'll take a good look at this. You know, it's been a while. I think I've acquired this a few times. Also with Dursharkin right there. Beautiful. Beautiful area. Oh, and the gold between us. What a tile. Oh, and the horses. Beauty. Beautiful. All right. So there we go. We've got ourselves a Hanging Gardens. Let's go ahead and secure our horses. This is 2 food, 1 production, and 1 happiness. That's pretty nice. That'd be pretty good to have. Actually, you know what? Never mind. We're not going to do that. We're going to do this. To be fair, you do want horses as Charlemagne, though, because he is all about horses. All right, we got ourselves an attribute point. Oh, that's right, expansionist. We'll do that for our settlers that we got from Hanging Gardens, as you can see right there. All right, so moving on. Get you one more search off. You're doing fantastic work. Okay, well, I was going to set him off, but we got to be careful. All right, perfect. Yeah, we're going to set him to auto here. All right, let's get up here. Aquila is 3 off, so that ends there. Question is, do I want to settle over here or kind of over here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Nekeb ends right here. So I actually could come over here maybe. I don't like that. I'm not going to lie, I don't like that too much. I might let her kind of settle that up. I think settling around here is a better idea. I just don't know where. This wouldn't be terrible. Yeah, this might be a reasonable spot. We'll see. I have to investigate that a little. Luckily, everybody's still at 3. Well, actually, Heshep's is at 2. Surprising. All right, good. We've got Latinitas, which is what we actually want. And we have another settlement limit and a tradition slot. So let's go ahead and change our policies and plug in Latinitas right now. Beautiful. So this is actually a lot of culture for us, shooting us up to 30. I'm surprised she has 58, though. That's insane. There's a cultural attribute we can plug in, so let's go ahead and do that. Production on wonders would be pretty good, but we're going to do the civic masteries. That way we can get in and out of the masteries faster and move on. Okay, I want more. Goodness, what do I want more of? Might as well go here. There we go. Really secure our gold areas. Ostia needs to keep growing. We do have 238 gold. That is enough to actually start doing stuff. Who contests the sun? So she's unhappy that we have more wonders than her. So that means she has 1 wonder, which is pyramids. Where do we want to go now? I say we just finish up. Let's finish this up. I know we can get through these pretty quick, but let's get the rest of our stuff. Another tradition slot. Production in the capital. Settlement limit. Colosseum. I just want to do that. Okay. Now let me check. Before we check him, you can press this and it'll let you, like, see you can do that. So you're not, like, you have an option. So, hold up here. It's not at all what I want. There we go. Let me get the lens out. Where are we settler-wise? Okay, so we got some fresh. It's recommending here. I could do, like, a settle here. If I go here, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. That still leaves this open, actually. Okay, she would be very unhappy, obviously. But this takes a lot into equation. I'm actually not opposed to this. Great production hub, I must say. A lot of production we can work with. There's also out here, the only problem is not a lot of resources on this, so that is a bit of a bummer. I think I will bring my guy here and maybe confirm that. All right, you're auto. Okay, well, I didn't expect us to just ram right into Ada there. We'll send her a friendly influence. She's playing Great Britain. Good for her. I'm not sending any military aid right now. I don't really need it. Let me get in the water and out. All right, there we go. Oh, and there's Friedrich, so we've met everybody. We'll send him a friendly greeting as well. I'm fine being friendly with everybody. He's playing Prussia. Very good for him. All right, so we've met everybody. 2, 4, 5, and Berlin's right there. Settlement-wise, we're looking decent. We need to settle more, but we're the same. You want to at least have the same settlement number as everybody else, if not higher. You want to be higher, of course, but the same number's not bad. I am kind of happy my neighbors like me, so that is pretty good. We are, unfortunately, going to cause some strife here in a second with both of them, but that's unavoidable. All right, what got built this time? Colossus. Not a surprise that Colossus got built. We just finished our tech. Analytical, she is -2, least masteries. Okay, well, we're working on that, so don't worry about it. All right, we got bronze working. We do want to come up here for currency. We need those markets. All right, back to production. We've got our monument getting us a lovely 8. All right, and we could get a barracks going, which we will do. That's a lovely 3 production plus a happiness. There we go. Yeah, I want that production first. We'll get that out of the way. And then we could do our basilicas. Oh, this is actually an influence building, so we would get culture off of it. That is something to think about. So now where are we getting... Okay, so we're getting gold off of these, obviously, and culture buildings. Shame that we put this here, but it's fine. So really, this would have been the ideal spot for a culture building. Or, I mean, for our unique quarter. But I still stand by where I put that. And then as for Temple of Jupiter, we get culture from happiness buildings and wonders. So there's this option as well. So we'll see on that. Apparently we have a garden location. Nope, not particularly thrilled about any of those. Okay, we do want to put down a fishing key at some point. I wouldn't mind another legatus, but not really worth it at this time. So we're going to leave this alone. Let's get the barracks first, and then we'll kind of go off of that. All right, so there's that. Let me get up here, do one more search off, and then you're going to be good to go. All right. Alrighty, there we go. What do we got next? All right, looks like some city-state stuff happened. Friedrich's become suzerain of a city-state. Good for him. All right, let's move over here. Aquila can grow again. Let's grab these rubies. It's actually going to be great for us. Perfect. That kind of shuts Hattusa out if it grew from getting into the lake, which we do want to kind of keep that lake to ourselves. I can definitely see Aquila looking pretty good. We put a nice science building here and get a nice gold building here. I definitely like the idea. Definitely like the idea. All right, resource-wise, we could put this in the capital. It really doesn't matter where we put it. I'm kind of fine with it as is, so we'll go with that. All right, we have a town-focused specialization. Do we want to focus our town? I don't really think I want to right now. Aquila's growing pretty good. We can convert it to a city for 175. That's pretty good. Oh, we can get a settler for 180. Ooh, I like both of these options. I'm actually going to go to Ostia here. I am going to buy a settler because I was thinking of that. All right, so 170. This actually goes down. So this price goes down each time you put a building in. So that's something to be aware of. Now, as for building, let's see. We got a nice 2 here. Okay, we could crush this to get closer to this. I'm actually behind that. I am going to do that. So we're going to crush this. We have a 2 for the saw pit, 2 for a brickyard, 2 for granary. So all these are great adjacencies for us. I think our best play is to definitely, because basically you want to go, do we want to grow or do we want to get more gold? Because production equals gold, remember, in towns. I think I want to build gold because if these become cities, which they most likely will, that production equates rather well for us. So let's do a brickyard first. So let's put this in. Boom. That gets us closer to our goal of these mountains, which is definitely what I want. And, oh, we get a little extra culture. We can get some production. What do we kind of want? I think I'm going to go for this 121 right now. That looks like a beautiful tile for us to use. So there we go. And we're going to keep growing, in my opinion. All right, I'm going to set you to auto-explore now. I think the danger's gone. Going to auto-explore you. Okay. Now, we are in position. 1, 2, 3. So we can get these crabs. We get some good water tiles. Nekeb's all the way over here, so we won't miss out on this silver at all. And then we can come all the way out to here, so we can get these. We can get this cotton. We do have some options for this salt if we want it. We don't have to. Okay, we stop here. We can get the iron. We can have a river access. So in my opinion, I kind of like what we have. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, coming out to here is not terrible, so I do like this. So let's go ahead and put a town down right here. Boom. Plus it gets us a legata, or I mean a legion, my bad, that we can use. So that's great. Now it does use up our turn, which is fine. Now, of course, we settled next to Hatshepsut, so of course she is not happy about that, which I'm not surprised. Now, as for what we're going to do, okay, a 1-2-1. I'm going to acquire this tin. That's kind of why I came out here, because tin is a wonderful resource. So it gets us 4 production in towns, which means 4 gold in towns, or we can just get 2 production in the city. Roma's looking pretty solid, so I think we're good there. I think we could just keep it where it's at. Yeah, we don't really, unless we want to move this to food. You know, that is an option. But I think we're good where we're at. Patavium will grow just fine. Yeah, so I'm happy with this. I definitely want another settle around here somewhere. That's why we befriended Mesa Verde. We are getting some scouts out here, which is pretty good. I would like to get a galley to kind of explore this. Speaking of which, can Mesa Verde give me that now? It can. I will. Oh, it's 50 influence. That is a little steep for a galley, especially when I can use some of this influence to kind of bring back the friendship with me and Hatshepsut. Actually, personally, I don't want to do that right now. No, she can send me delegations. Instead, I'm going to befriend Xerxes a bit, even though we are going to be making him mad as well very shortly. All right, yeah, we're doing good on this. Really, only Hatshepsut's beating us in culture right now, and science-wise, we're bottom, but we're not too far away. I do want to try to get another settle in. Okay, someone's built great steel. That was Ashoka. Good for him. All right, we got a diplomatic action. See, this is what I was talking about. We'll support this instead with her. Yeah, she's way higher in culture than we are, but that's way better than giving her a ton of science too. So definitely a good call. Okay, now where are we at? So we are low on a military. I do want to build these up at some point. Maybe put them here. Actually, this wouldn't be bad. If we can maybe get a wonder here, that would be... Yeah, I'm just kind of playing it out. Or we could go here. There's always the chance of another wonder. Actually, how many turns? Okay, one thing I want to try to go for, we might lose it. I want to try to go for Oracle. That's one of my thought processes. We are also about to get close to making markets, but I don't really have a location for that just yet. So that is kind of an annoyance for us. So for now, garden 1 turn, that'd be great. We could grab more science with our walls. We also have fishing keys and harbors, which I actually do kind of want to get in play. So let's put those in first for 2 turns. Reason being, we can then get galleys if we need them. So that would be nice to have. Alright, so our Legata has used his charge. I'm going to keep him here for now, just because we did kind of really get on Hatshepsut's bad side. Oh man, look at this. What wonderful yields she has. Alright, we could settle this. We're going to leave that alone. I want to come out here. Yep, I'm going to now make Xerxes mad at me. And let's see if I go here. 1, 2, 3. Alright, I might actually move one more. The only problem is that gold is far away from me and closer to him, but we'll see. Either way, let's get here and kind of see what we got going on. Because I do want to make this settle. There's a lot of resources I can work with. Alright, we're growing again. Fantastic. Let's see, we can pretty much go where we want. I'm going to come out this way now. Let's get towards this cotton. This silk would be pretty good too. Yeah, she can have open borders with me. That's fine. I'm not really too worried about that. Unless she settles behind me, which would be an issue. But we'll just have to see. Alright, we are being attacked, so let's just run away. Easy. Easy option there, huh? Okay, another great air. Man, I'm loving what I'm seeing. Where are we at settlement-wise? Okay, we are even with Friedrich and Xerxes, so that is good to know. All right, looks like Xerxes is kind of moving this way a little bit. I'm not too worried as of yet. I think he's just scouting. At least we hope he's only scouting. Let's get some more gold. There we go. Beautiful. That's going to equate to even more. Oh, yeah, Hatshepsut is mad because of our wonder stuff. All right, good. We got both of these built. Those are done, so fantastic. That's one less thing to worry about. I'm going to build some walls right now, actually, because these equate to science for me. So that's good to have. All right, so now as for Ostia, let's take a look. We could build, or my bad, buy. Yeah, Ostia's in a buying market. So I do want to make it into a town, or a city. It's 175. We can do that next turn. Actually, we could probably do Aquila right now. 150. Do we want to make Aquila into a city right now? I think we do with 9 production. It's not terrible. Yep, let's go ahead and shoot it. Let's go for it. Boom. All right, wonderful. So I think first off, we're going to go for this lovely library. Look at that. Just a +6 right off the rip. And we will put a barracks with it. Okay. There is, okay, no Petra option. I have a feeling Petra might have been taken already. Let's actually review that. If it has, it is what it is. Okay, Petra is available. We just don't have desert in Aquila. Gotcha. Okay, well, we're going to focus on the library, unless there's something else we can build a little faster. The saw pit only has a 1 charge at the moment. The granary has a 3. Is this considered? No, it's grasslands. Grasslands. There's the desert. Okay. Either way, I do want Aquila to be a city. And actually, doing the altar would probably be a better boost for us starting out. So let's actually start with the altar, because that will equal production. All right. Now that we have this, let's move this here. We're going to lose 4 gold, but gain 2 production. And we're actually going to boost our food in here. Wonderful. All right, yep, I really agree with that. Let's get it going. Okay. All right, so if you're here, okay, fall back. Megiddo wouldn't mind befriending. That'd be pretty nice. All righty. All right, let's get going here. See what we uncover next. Ooh, well, that's dangerous. We're going to run away from that. We don't need to be there. We don't need to be here anymore. You need to be like that. All right. I'm going to grab more food. And we can get that cotton, and we'll be looking pretty good. Oh, Friedrich dislikes a leader with the smallest number of military units. Well, he will eventually like us because we will build up a military. Oh, we got a wall. Actually, yeah, let me get a galley real quick for 1 turn. And then we do want to actually build up some things. Before we do, though, perfect. We'll enter a celebration. After we get that galley, I want to plug this in before we start making units. Because if I'm making military land units, I'm going to want to get some culture out of that. You know, it just seems fair. So yeah, let's get that, and then we'll see where our next turn takes us. We almost have markets available. We're going to have to see where we can put those. Okay, you're in my way, so just get in the water. Oh, I see. Okay, well, they'll move around. We'll be good. Yeah, they'll move. Yeah, see, look at that. Okay, so there we go. Another settlement limit, another tradition slot. We have the +1 production for districts in the capital. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and change these policies. So let's go ahead and plug this in. Actually, my bad. We don't really care about that, do we? We're going to be building units right now, so yeah, plug this in. There we go. Confirm that. Narrative choices, culture or military. Well, let's take a look on these attributes, huh? Culture would get us down further. Military does have a nice ability for it, you know, in case we have war. I'm going to bank on not having war, so I'm actually going to do culture. I'm going to head down that tree a bit more. Now, we could build wonders faster. I'm actually going to take culture on resources. I think that's going to be real handy for us right now, because we do have quite a few of those. All right, now, I do want to grow out here a bit more, but Let's go ahead and secure like this. We'll make sure we have this tile. Nobody else needs it. And then we'll probably grab the elephants up here. Okay, as for our next thing, because look, we are now, view the tree, we're done. We finished it all up. We actually could build Colosseum right now, which is another thing to go for. I'm going to go for public life, see if we can maybe secure that oracle. Let's enter a celebration. I'm going to do a production right now, right? And, ooh, 3 turns. Okay, yeah, so take this out, give me this, put the culture on the palace, confirm this right now. Alright, because we're going to build that wonder. None of these really matter to me. That's 1 turn on all of these, so I'm just going to take the gold. That's going to equate better. Alright, let's go for a Colosseum 4 turns. This is actually perfect for us. And we have a perfect location for it. Because if we go here, we can put our... Yep, this works out great. The other option, actually, if we want to try to push for a oracle, is we could put them both over here. And then try to put our unique quarter here. I think our unique quarter would be better off here. Or not here, better served over here, probably. So let's go ahead and put the Colosseum here. Go for this. That works out pretty well for us, because after 4 turns, we're pretty much set for another thing. We can switch things out, so lovely. Okay, we're going to get this guy moving. Let's go down here. See if we can snag this. Beautiful. Hey, let's just take that 7 production right now. That might shave a turn off. Nope, it did not, but it got us closer. Is this a Shepsit? Okay, she's coming down here. I don't like that. That is rather annoying. Can we beat her to it? We cannot. So she's probably going to settle down here around us. I'm not going to like that. We might have to war her for it. So we're here. Okay, yeah, he took that gold. But the thing is, they're pretty well shut off. So I'm going to still settle here because this is a great location. Yeah, this still works out really well for us. We can get to these hides. The dyes are out of reach, but we got dyes here. We can actually sneak and grab these if we want to. Yeah, so we have some options. So I'm fine with this settle. That will get us to 5 of 6. We still have another settle to do. I would prefer to come down here, but her taking this won't really hurt us. It's just going to annoy us. Right, so let's see what happens. Yeah, she's going for that. That's to be expected. I mean, if we want to, we could probably try to take it. All right, we got our markets available now, so we can start adding those in. Aquila is building itself. Ostia could use some growth, or we can hold off, put this guy down. Boom. Yep, Xerxes now is not happy with that, obviously. Not surprising. Let's go ahead and secure... Wow, all of these are great. I'm going to go out to this right now. Make sure we have these. If we could get this cotton, that would be great. We could actually crush this if we wanted to. Not opposed to it. This would probably be more of a town, in my opinion. Yeah, it'd be a town, pretty much. I will go ahead and put down a fishing key, I think. There we go, just secure that area. Okay, so we got our tech done for currency. We can go into engineering, or we could go for Halicarnassus. Halicarnassus would be amazing as Charlemagne, because we're all about getting, getting, why am I blanking? Cavalry, there we go. We could go that. I'm actually going to try to go for engineering here. We might see about mathematics. I don't think we'll be the first to get it, but it's worth a shot. Hey, there's Troy. Odyssey, anyone? I'm just kidding. All right, so yeah, he's going to be mad about that. We kind of shut him out. I would love another settle up here if we could obtain it. In fact, maybe we kind of move our legatus around a little bit. All right, so let's move on. She's probably going to... All right, she might not settle there. Great Lighthouse was built. That's to be expected. All right, so this isn't great. We need to escape that. Ooh, a lot of good land out here. That's a lot of good land. All right, let's secure ourselves some cotton. There we go. We're going to go throw that into the capital. Yeah, let's get that 45 production up and running. Actually, does the capital really need that much? Yeah, we're fine. That's fine. Okay, so we got ourselves a legion here. We're going to keep him in place. Move our legatus around. I don't like that Hatshepsut's kind of moving around. That is a little worrying. I don't think we have a denounced military presence just yet. How much does she hate us? Or, okay, she's kind of in between on this. So, overall, looks like she's kind of more upset, in my opinion. All right. I'm going to talk to Xerxes, though, as he can kind of get him back to liking us a little bit. He does have a military presence a little bit. Let's see what these guys do with movement. Okay, they're kind of going back and forth. Hatshepsut settled too close. Okay, so she did put Akhenaten down there. That's to be expected. I'm just going to kind of leave that be. I think we're getting near the point where this camel is starting to look like a good idea. Let's see, 1, 2, 3... We could come out to this. Yeah, let's go ahead and secure these camels, I think. We'll go ahead and plug those in. The horses would be great. Let's go here, though. Oh, actually, we're going to go here. What's your production at? Like, what's your total? 17 food, 5 production. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just take this instead, then. 7 turns for growth isn't terrible. All right, let's secure the horses, because that'll secure the cotton. So Puteoli's looking great. All right, so entertainment, we already have Colosseum, but we could go for more settlement limit, tourism for celebrations, things like that. It's not bad. Code of laws. Yeah, let's go ahead and secure code of laws for Petra. Oh, of course, that's why I couldn't see it, because I don't have Petra unlocked yet. All right, let's move on. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep that in Aquila. Actually, that's not a terrible idea. All right, moving on. Let's go here. Yeah, we need to start getting some people moving around. Actually, I'm going to bring you back. Until her units start moving further away from me, I don't want to be sending my guy up here. All right, she's kind of going for a defense. That I'm fine with. All right, so Ashoka beat us to the slotting of stuff, but we got Colosseum. And yep, that's right, the Venerable Bede. So Rome shall stand. Also, this is pretty fire. So we get culture and gold on quarters in this settlement. Or, my bad, happiness and gold on quarters in this settlement. And if we put down walls, it gets even better. All right, so get +2 combat strength. Now I'm just going to take the happiness, try to get another celebration rolling. I will support her culture. I'm fine with that. Try to keep her happy. Yeah, we've upset each other, but we're all neutral, so we're not really angry. So I'll take it. A 4-turn Oracle, I am 100% behind. Let's see. Actually, this would be pretty good, because that gives us another option for our... Oh, wait. Okay, or we could go here and make this a 3, but then we don't really have a... Okay. Because we could go here and then put down our forum, but the downside is we wouldn't have this adjacency. So we'd have to move around. Our other option, let's see, out here, it'd give us another forum location if we want it. But we can only put the forum down once. We can only put it down once. Where else could we go? I mean, if we go here, we make a 4 tile again. But we already have a 4 over here. We could also put this down. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Because we still have to think about our gold building as well. Where are we going to put that? I'm not entirely sure. Where to go? Where to go? I think we'll go here. We can have this 4 available. Even if not, we'll have a double for culture if we need it. So yeah, let's put Oracle there. And yeah, we'll just leave that be. Let's go ahead and secure... Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and get that going. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to keep you home for now. As for you, we're going to explore what's over here. All right, get a search off. All right, that's pretty good. All right, we'll move on. 2, 4, we're at 5, right? Okay, yeah, we have another settle we can do, which we do want. Probably secure up here. Patavium goes out to here. We could do like a settle right in here somewhere, maybe right there. Not sure yet. Either way, once Aquila gets this library, we'll probably be looking pretty solid. Oh, what got built? That is Maui. Okay, so we are competing for Oracle right now. We don't know who we're competing against, so we might get it, we might not. So why don't we try to secure that a little more effectively then? Let's grab some cotton. There we go. And we'll just pop that right into Roma here, getting more production. All right, still at 2 turns, of course, but you know, is what it is. I'd be more worried about Patavium being attacked. Oh, she's got another settler out. Can we buy one? We can. Perfect. We're going to try to head her off if we can get down here. I doubt it, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay. Also, we do have a nice island over here we could probably go with, which isn't a bad idea. Okay, so we missed out on Oracle. That is unfortunate. I did not expect them to outbuild me that quickly. But we have unlocked... Oh, well, that doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, this scout's dead. Let's go ahead and secure more 10. All right. Maybe I can get here before she gets there. We'll see. All right, so there's that. We could build a Petra in 3 turns. Question is, do I really want to? I don't want to build it here. I want to build it in Aquila. That takes 11 turns, but there is more use for it in Aquila, especially right here. All right, so I'm going to cancel the barracks. Can I buy the barracks? It's 108. Okay. So we got 8 turns on Petra there. I'm going to let that go. Back over here, I know Petra was 3 turns, so we might miss out, but it's worth more in Aquila than it is here. So instead of that, I suppose we could focus on other buildings. I need to see... Sadly, my markets only have adjacencies from wonders, so that's not great. I suppose I could have put a Petra... Yeah, that wouldn't have mattered. I can get a bath, apparently. That's nice. Not really worth it. All right. So we could build up a military. We're not going to do that. Merchants would be great. Let's go ahead and secure our Basilica and Temple of Jupiter. Just going to put this right here. Get our forum unlocked. And then we'll put our other stuff there. All right. Lord of Coin. So Xerxes likes leaders with fewer trade routes than him. He's going to hate us again because we're going to have trade routes. All right. Mundo Perdido means nothing to me. There's no tropical around here, so I don't care. We could try to head for literacy. Try to get Nalanda as an option. Has to be placed on plains. Then, of course, there's Emil Bell and Wei Yang Palace, or we can go down here for a militaristic attribute point. I think we'll go for citizenship. We'll get those settlement points later. They're not really key at this moment, even though we are at 60. Trade opportunity. Dismiss. Who are we going to trade with? Set is looking pretty tasty, so yeah, we will do that. Oh, hey, look at that. We got another thing. Let's plug that in. There we go. So we can make units and everything and really boost ourselves along. Okay, I don't like that. I'm going to sit tight. All right, as for you, go ahead and go there. Let's see what this is looking like. I could do a settle over here. I'm not opposed to it. All right, yeah, she's definitely getting in position. All right, so hopefully I'm better off just walking across. All right, first research mathematics was Ada Lovelace, so we missed out on that. So she will be building the... go ahead and secure this. Just get more production. We are building a wonder in Aquila, so we're going to throw some production in there. In fact, we could probably use... No, we're fine, we're fine. I'd rather have that gold. So that's that. Let me see here. Yeah, she definitely beat me to it. I need more science buildings. That's just a given. So we are working on engineering. So she is going to beat us to Pyramid of the Sun and Great Library, most likely. So we might come down and try to go for Halicarnassus then. We might go that route. Snag this. Minus 100% science, but 50 gold. That's... No. No. That's bad. All right. I'll try to run away. Get back over here. Akhenaten, I'm not pleased about, but hey, I don't really care that it's there. We'll just deal with it. Looks like she is kind of encroaching on me a little bit. Let's try to move back to Aquila. Let's see. Can I denounce her military presence? She doesn't have enough. Xerxes doesn't either, so they did kind of move away. Okay, let's grow our city, shall we? I think it's time to get some science boosts a little bit. Oh, we can also do a specialist. Yeah, let's do a specialist, actually. That's better. Yeah, I know. You don't like me for that. Quit telling me. Let's get up here. All right, so there we are. Let's see if we can settle this. All right, so yeah, this is a island to acquire for next age for sure. All right, looks like she's going out there. And 1, 2, 3. Yep, we won't. Oh, perfect. We'll get all these volcano tiles. That makes me happy. All right, there's Ravenna. Got that added in. Narrative choice. I will take the 75 culture. Good, that got us citizenship. We can build a meal bell if we wish. The crabs would be great. Let's go ahead and acquire these wonderful volcano tiles first. Definitely a good idea. Okay, all of these miss out on this ivory. That's a little unfortunate. All right, you're going to sit tight. Tavium 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, so would only have grabbed that. So this is perfect. She's going to be upset about this. I really don't care. Yep, I will support the option for that. We do need to get a settler out here. That is definitely a must. Friedrich is because we have the smallest number, so we'll be working on that here. We are building wonders, so let's acquire that. Let's go ahead and put culture on our culture buildings. Let's really boost our culture. Speaking of which, we can get in here, and we can build a meal bell, which I am definitely for. Let's go ahead and try to put it where we were putting Oracle, huh? Getting a nice meal bell. That would... A few great abilities of a meal bell is that it should have the Wei Yang Palace... or not Wei Yang Palace. Okay, yeah, we will go for Wei Yang as well if we can acquire that. Let's get up here. Oh, Carl Supe. Try to befriend them, huh? I know it's kind of late in the age for it, but they might be able to give us some good scouting ability. You don't need to do anything. I think we're safe. All right, let's get into Aquila. I do need to kind of settle out here. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Okay, so we missed out on a wonder. It was definitely a meal bell. Who built that? Didn't really say, did it? All right. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right, let's get our gold. I definitely see her encroaching on us. We're going to have to do some upgrades. So let's fully upgrade everybody. Let's get some legions out. Now, the upside to this... Okay, you were already a legion. Perfect. Put me here. Now, the upside to her coming to us, Medjays, I mean, she's still got some power. But Medjays are more for defense than offense. So we do have that going for us. All right, let's come into here. I'm going to go for an archer. Let's see what else we got. Nothing there. Aquila, I'm going to see if I can purchase a wall just to be safe. Oh, actually, let me purchase my barracks. Yeah, we're going to purchase our barracks. That'll help us try to get Petra. We don't have... We're one turn on that, so I might as well one turn something else. Let's go ahead and one turn a wall. Get us more production and... or more... science and happiness. All right, let's run away from Carl Supe. Okay, this scout might die. We're going to have to accept that. All right, alert you. All right, we've made it, so maybe this trade route will kind of appease her a little bit. We'll see. For now, let's try to increase our science. And actually, you know what? I'm fine losing a tad bit of production. There we go. So we'll do that. You're not really growing, so... or have the warehouse buildings that I want. Oh, you're the only one with warehouse buildings. Okay, well, in that case, you can have this extra food then. All right, beautiful. We've acquired that. Actually, her possibly fighting us would be terrible for her. All right, that's Mundo Perdido. That's fine. All right, we lost our scout. Unfortunate business, but that's just how it goes sometimes. All right, we've unlocked Bursa and the pyramid, and the amphitheater, so that's good stuff to have. I'm going to go ahead and secure this silk, because we'll probably lose the silk that she has. Ravenna, I'm going to need to bring you up. Yeah, your legion needs to come up here. This looks great. We don't really need the crabs, so I'm going to take this wine and kind of fill in the gaps here. Perfect. So really all the only other thing we would need would be the pearls. All right, as for this, we're just going to keep taking some wonderful tiles around the volcano for now. Ravenna I probably should come out and take this stuff, but it's fine. Not too worried about it. All right, so let's get in here. We do need a few things. We're going to stop this. We're mainly focused on ironworking now. We're just going to go straight down this. We'll see about mathematics for getting the academy, but not really a big deal at this time. All right, next up. So we could try to build Wei Yang Palace. Let's go ahead. Nalanda's already been built, so literacy and philosophy have already been worked. So the innovation would be great, but let's go ahead and get some military stuff. That's more important. We will try to make Wei Yang Palace right now, though, which can go anywhere. Lovely. With that, in that case, we are going to go here, try to boost our culture even more. Hopefully we can get Wei Yang. That would be nice. All right, competing wonder is Petra. Okay, we are 2 turns. He is really filling that in, so he might beat us on Petra, which would annoy me. I think we're good everywhere else. We'll confirm this. All right, so we have salt and other things. I think we're fine on that. All right, I will be purchasing an ancient wall here, and we'll leave it at that. All right, so what about another town focus? That's fine. We're going to let these grow for now. All right, so everybody start building walls. I could reject her military presence. I'm going to hold off for now and see what happens. All right, just put you at alert. You're fine. You want to be inside the walls anyway. All right, so we're going to miss out on Petra. It's a good chance we will. All right, there was a Volsini exploding. Okay, getting us more production in Ravenna. All right, so he is really close to a Petra, and so are we. And this is most likely Wei Yang Palace, isn't it? Okay, he's building Wei Yang. I think we got a better construction process. We'll just have to wait and see. For now, let's focus on... let's grab this 1-3. Definitely need this production. Okay, yeah, she's trying to move around, try to find a spot, I can tell. All right, so we are full on our limit, so I can see why she would be interested in taking some of our stuff. So do we get Petra? Yes, no, maybe so. Please. There is Petra. Sedentary life is civilization's goal. It marks the end of its life and heralds its corruption. Ibn Khaldun. So we have acquired Petra here. That is beautiful for us. Wonderful pickup. Fantastic. I'm even surprised we've got this many wonders already. Usually this never happens. So perfect. We've unlocked Terracotta Army. Might actually be willing to put that into play. We have entered the crisis. That is surprisingly quick, but let's go ahead and move on anyway. All right, we've got almost all of our volcano tiles in Ravenna. Tegenu's kind of eating into Ravenna's growth, which is fine. I just didn't want her on the continent. That island means nothing to me. Dislikes leaders that have many or more... I have 1 trade route. Goodness, man, settle down. Okay, we can build terracotta, and we're definitely going to try to do that. So we could go here, and that would make a 3, a 3. If we go here, that makes it double. Actually, I like this. Put terracotta here. All right, we're going to try to snag that. I know we need to still build up some infrastructure. That's a given. All right. We'll leave this alone. So, we can get happiness on our wonders. That'd be pretty nice, huh? Is it really worth it right now? No, it's not. All right. Entering the crisis. +2 on science buildings, but -4 on science buildings. I will take the extra science, actually. Let's move on. Put you here. All right. So, yeah, my goal is to try to get a commander out of this and a wonder. You know, it's kind of nice if we can. All right, so we're 1 turn away from Wei Yang Palace. Where's his way? Okay, he is still building it. We should have it. We're about to find out. I really hope we acquire it. That would be nice. All right, let's secure our dyes. That's a really good thing to have if we need happiness. So there we go. All right, you're where you need to be. Okay, it looks like you're crunching me a little. I would like to get a brickyard. I don't want to put it there because I would like to put a market in. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Oh, man. Let's go ahead and put in our fishing key, I guess. There we go. And our harbor. Now we can put a brickyard in over here, or here. Let's leave that alone for a second. Ostia, you need a brickyard, like, since yesterday. I just never got around to it. Alright, so this is actually pretty good for a brickyard. Oh, this is better, actually. Let's get rid of that clay pit. Wonderful. Let's just go ahead and secure more production. Yeah, my one downside is I'm not setting up my towns quickly. I should definitely, you know, incorporate them or make them what they need to be more often or faster. So we'll have to see on that. Either way, let's keep going. Do we get Wei Yang Palace? It looks like we did. Heaven is lasting, earth endures, time has no limit. Regret goes on and on without end. By Juyi, or Yuyi, depending on how the J is pronounced. All right, wonderful. Wei Yang Palace, looking very good. Boosts our culture output. And we get a tradition slot and 3 influence on that. So that is a big boost for us. I will support this endeavor with Ada. I wouldn't mind getting some science. She beat us to the mathematics, which is what it is. All right, we have no wonders at the moment, so we could put in an amphitheater, which I think we should. I definitely need my market. At this stage, we're just going to go ahead and put a market in right here. I'll put a garden with it. If you can't get an adjacency, I mean, it's not a big deal. And sometimes it's better to have stuff than to not. All right, while I like all of this, I'm just going to take 2 happiness on wonders. Push me up to 96. That's crazy. All right, yeah, let's get you over here to Ravenna for safekeeping. All right, looks like she stepped off. Yeah, overall, we're kind of unhappy with each other. I would love, man, look at this island. Like, this settle out here would be insane. She's at 4 of 6. I'm at 6 of 6. I am trying to get more, which I will next turn. Akhenaten would have been... Yeah, that is the only bummer, really. I'm not going to settle into this. That'd be crazy. I like over here, though. I do want to get a settle over here. Maybe even 2, depending. 1, 2, 3. I could do like an island. Well, not an island, but I could do like a little fishing town here. And then I could do like another town around here that actually incorporates almost everything. I'll have to see about that. I could put something here and take control of pretty much the whole island, and then put a little satellite here for some food and dyes. That's not a bad idea. Yeah, because we will get up to 8. That won't be hard. All right, let's continue on. Now let's see if our hope goes into terracotta. All right, someone built Sanchi Stupa, which was Ashoka. That's his wonder, actually. We've unlocked Halicarnassus, so we do have that, or not Halicarnassus, Theoderic. And I am actually not opposed to Theoderic. 5 turns for Theoderic would be pretty nice. 1, 2, 3. We could get a somewhat okay adjacency here. This could also boost our science even harder. I think ideally we do go here. We're going to cancel this garden. We're going to go straight into Theoderic. We're going to try to acquire that. Okay, so back to production. We'll leave this stuff alone for now. We do need to put stuff in. I know. We're getting there. Okay, so she got all the way over here, which I am not happy about. I just couldn't do it. To Jenny's actually an ugly settle. It's a stupid settle too, in my opinion. But hey, that's the AI for you. All right, we can get our last settlement limit, and we should. And then we'll move on from that. All right, now, I'm going to... Gotta do some movement here. I do want to do one more city. I don't know if we'll have enough time for it. Let's get more dyes. Okay, we'll acquire that. Or we can drop it and do a percentage. So, that brought us to 50. This brings us to 55. Yeah, let's do the culture. We need to slot more stuff. We'll try. Unit maintenance would be nice. I could drop the production. I'm going to leave it, though. We're going to leave it. Okay, so... Ravenna. I'm going to get your brickyard out just to have more money. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And we can move this around as needed. But that looks pretty good. There we go. So you fully cut me off. I see. Well, we still have plenty of room for now, but she could shut it all the way out. We do need to get a settle out there then. Okay, what did we miss? Theoderic was unavoidable then. Okay. Unfortunate, but not unexpected. All right, so that's all the way over. Let's go ahead and grab... one of these. Could go out one more, but yeah, let's grab this. There we go. I will support her culture. How are we doing? She's probably ahead of us, but we have 102 is not terrible. 148. She's really crushing the culture right now. All right, we have no other wonders to build. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and finish our garden up. At least do that. After we have the garden, let's go for an amphitheater. So we have a 9 or a 9. Either one is good. I say we go here for the 9. Confirm that. Let's make this our influence center, and then we'll have our other happiness building go there. I think that should work pretty well. So there, we're building that up. Let's see if we get terracotta. Fingers crossed on that. It would be great if we did, because that will give us a commander. Volsini erupted, and we've acquired terracotta army. After the battle, many new ghosts cry. Dufu. All right, beautiful. All right, we'll show this building out, and then we need to get some buildings out. Yeah, we got to start doing that. We need to get some infrastructure prepared. Otherwise, we're going to be falling behind. What a beautiful, beautiful wonder. All right. So we've acquired that. Pyramid of the Sun, Ada Lovelace. Not surprising on that. Okay, we could do another specialist. I will actually go for... Let's grab these horses now. Let's grab that. Oh, we have a double. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, we have some solid production here. Yeah, I'm going to do a specialist here because this will always be the same. All right, celebration, we... Oh, I almost clicked wonders. We're done with wonders, I believe. I don't think we have any others at the moment. And are we going to acquire one anytime soon? Not through entertainment. That one's gone. These are gone. Sanji Stupa's gone. All that's left is Angkor Wat will be taken. All right, we're not near anything new. So yeah, let's just go for our influence. Let's acquire that. And let's go with unit maintenance cost. Make that cheaper. Get us more money. All right. So we got terracotta in here. Let me check. Am I up to 6? I know I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm a wonder shy, aren't I? Let's see if we can snag that last one. I would love to if we could. Getting more altars if we want to do piety is an option. We do need more resource slots. Gold buildings we need more of. This will happen. We're pretty close to it. Okay, have 4 altars in cities. We would get missionary charges if we care. 4 gardens. We would get 2 free hospital purchases. Not bad. How are we looking at this? First to study philosophy. How did someone not study philosophy yet? That should have already happened. Oh, hey, Trajan's Market. We need 1 more empire resource. All right, doing okay. That's reasonable. Reasonable. All right, back to the productions. No wonders. We could build some military. It's not a bad idea. Actually, do we have... We should have another legat. Okay, good. We do have another legatus here. And he has the bulwark ability, I believe. Yep, because they get bulwark because of going through our specific tree. So I'm going to send him up to Patavium. This is fine for now. So we could build up a military real quick. I say we go for a market because we got a lovely 7 here now. And along with a garden to go with it. Okay. And then we have come out to here. We could do a lovely monument right there. Okay, we do have terracotta here. We can actually build some stuff there. We have another 3 we can work with. All right. One thing at a time. I also need my Basilica and Temple of Jupiter. Ah. You know what? I see it. I see it now. I say we put our Basilica and Temple of Jupiter right here. All right. Place that there. Because then we can do monuments and amphitheaters around it that have doubles. All right. Perfect. Put a villa right there. Yep. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. All right. There's our second market. So that'll get us a Lord of the Harvest. So that'll be good. All right. We already have Colosseum. So we'll go ahead and change policies just to confirm because you have to go in there anyway. So we got a scientific attribute point. Took some time getting here, but well worth it. All right, we're growing again. Let's acquire the horses now. We can be Mongolia if we wish. And there's that empire resource. And that is immediate. So we're getting +1 gold on all of these. All right, Ostia, we can see about maybe doing some stuff with. What's your production? 15. It's actually not terrible. Let me get this altar in. That's now 20. And then apparently I have a granary option for at least 2 of these. This means nothing. So I could convert this into a city. And I highly feel like doing that. I might hold off, though. My reason being, I might be better off just making an urban center and prepping it up for the next age. That is also an option, because we're going to crush these 2 tiles. We can move this to somewhere else. So yeah, let's see if Ostia, if we set you to an urban center, how's that going to look? All right, not too bad. Let's go ahead and secure a library for a 5. All right, that's 5 more science that we're rocking now. We're still behind, but at least we're slightly ahead of Xerxes. All right, let's go ahead and secure... Ah, yes. There we go. We need to secure the pearls. Okay, now let me get in here. How has no one researched literature before us? That seems... Or philosophy. Oh, duh. Okay, well, we'll go through literacy anyway. We'll go ahead and give out dyes, maybe. Dyes would get us a policy slot if we moved it around, but we'll just put it in here. All right. Got ourselves, yes, we've uncovered the chariots. Now we're in business. All right, put 1 in here. Put 1 in here. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, we got that rolling now because we've unlocked chariots. Someone's at war with someone, and everybody's neutral with me, which, I mean, it could be worse. It could be worse. All right, Karl Suppe's got us 12 science. They are becoming more friendly. 4 turns is pretty good. All right, we're in the crisis a bit more. Let's go ahead and secure this last bit of volcano tiles. Oh, Ravenna, you need to... Oh, man, that was bad. Man, look at these productions, though. All right, we're in the crisis. 5 happiness on altars and infected settlements, but -10 on altars. +5 in infected settlements. -5 with no altar. Okay, well, take me some time to build altars. We're not fighting anybody, so I actually will accept that. All right, so who's at war now? Ada has declared war on Ashoka, so everybody's kind of fighting everybody. In fact, let me see how we're looking at that. Who's at war with who? All right, so Ashoka's fighting Friedrich and Ada's fighting Ashoka. Okay, good for them. I'll let them have at it. We're looking pretty good here. Oh, we can not reach that. Why does this all look... Oh, wait, I'm here. Oh, I can reach that. Yeah, let me get that in there. I was like, wait, something don't look right. All right, so we're building up. Everything's looking good. Get our literature here. And then we might do philosophy. You've made it. Fantastic. You stay right there. Having 2 commanders and 2 armies isn't terrible. That's a pretty decent spread, I would say. All right, there's a codex. There's innovation. We got literature. All right, there's our arenas and our blacksmiths. That's also a plus. Shepsit is mad again, of course. We'll go for philosophy since it's still available, but I don't expect that to last too long. Okay, this is annoying. We gotta pack up, and we gotta leave. All right, we can't stay in Aquila anymore. It's sick, which means our commander and units will start taking damage. All right, complete 10 endeavors. I should do an endeavor, actually. Let's talk to Xerxes here. Let's do a collab with him. All right, we do have some more influence left. I should be sending out trade routes, of course, but I actually don't have the room for it, so it's not really a necessity. What I do need, though, is to settle 2 more times. So let me get into Ravenna here. Let's buy ourselves a settler for 300. Okay. We're going to come out here and settle this. And then I don't know about another location. We could try to settle this real hard if we want. I might do it. I just don't know yet. If we do, it is a good way to kind of keep everybody away from Patavium and Aquila. So that is an option. Alright, so Ada got the first to research all the technologies and masteries. That's not a surprise. Good for her on that. I mean, that's kind of a given. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab this. Patavium needs a few things. I'm going to acquire a granary, actually. Let's go ahead and put this fishing key out there. There we go. Alright, now as for Ravenna, I will definitely take that wine. I'll just bring you out here. Looks good. Yeah, this settle makes 100% sense, but we need to come, like, right over here, because I'd rather be prepped for next age. There's Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. We didn't go for it right away, so that's unfortunate. I'm surprised we're already at 10 turns. That seemed rather quick. Alright, let's acquire this. We don't need the hides. It's unfortunate. Let's see. Science on science buildings or codices. I have 2 codices, so I have more science buildings. Yeah, so put 2 on my science buildings. Alright, there's the Shawnee. Be suzerain of 2 city-states. Okay. Let's acquire this blacksmith. Get that in place. Alright, move on from there. I'll definitely take a, let's go out to here, I guess. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, yeah, I am worried I might have missed something. Did I do short ages or something? Alright, so 9 turns until the age ends. Like, that seems surprisingly quick. That seems surprisingly quick. I might have a short ages run in here. That's unfortunate, because I hate short ages. Right, so we're missed out on the wonders. There's no more wonders to be had. Give me more science. I'm trying to push through my science as quickly as possible. Let's secure this arena, and then we're probably just going to build walls. Maybe. Alright, so that's nice. Let me see if I can get another settler out. I can. We will. Yeah, let's get that finished. We need to get a settle out here, because I'd rather have everything that I can get while I'm still available. Oh, hey, let's snag this. Yeah, sure, we'll take that. Oh, goodness. Okay, so now what happened? Okay. Oh, yeah, our settler's dying. Okay, so Anchor Watt, scholars. Let me change policies if I need to. Not really. Alright, crisis continues. Let's throw in a specialist. Actually, the specialists don't really matter right now. Let's secure the... Where did that go? Okay, that's fine. I'll allow it. Alright, let's secure this. Really, at this stage, we don't have much else to go off of. Nothing really worth grabbing, so I suppose we can try a future civic to at least do something. Gain a migrant when a city is infected, but minus 25% growth rate in my cities. I am doing pretty yeah, we'll do that. I kind of need the gold right now. Yeah, you get out of here. Alright, very crazy up here. Yeah, some very interesting settles. Alright, moving on. Let's take this settler. If I go here, that secures everything. So nobody can settle anywhere. I'm just going to take it. I'm going to take it. Oh, yeah, I'm going to take this. Let me put a legion here. A legion here. Chariot here, and an archer behind. Beautiful. We'll bulwark it. Yeah, we'll just sit right here. Yeah, she's not going to be happy, and I don't really care. Let's go to Ravenna with this if we could. All right, let's get you. There we go. All right, so what are we going to grab? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I wanted this. Also, he's a migrant, so it has to be a rural tile. All right, I can't plot anything down, so we're going to have to leave that. Oh, we entered a celebration, so we have more people. All right, so let's get you up here. You have 4 people around you. You have 2, 3, 4, but we'll go ahead and send you another chariot anyway. There we go. Alright, yeah, she's definitely going to try to fight this, which I understand. Oh, wow. Hattusa became a settlement. Good for that. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to hit some research initiatives. I need to try to push through some of this. Good grief. Just grab this then. 166. We're doing great on culture, by the way. I think they finally changed it up where... Oh, the blowhole's nice. I think they finally changed it up where you can't really go for everything anymore, which, I mean, makes sense. Also, it could just be that I am not playing to full effect, so that is also an option. Right, so Hutus. Yeah, that's a good acquisition for her. Yeah, that's not bad. Makes total sense. Alright, good. We made it over here. I love this a lot. Yep, I love this a lot. So we're going to go ahead and put this down. Boom, there's Gades. 7 culture because our guy got built. Let's go ahead and grab the camels immediately. And we're going to throw them in right away. So let's get some more of this. Grab some more incense. And we'll grab some crabs for some growth. And we can be the Ming Dynasty if we wish. Gades, right. Let's move some things around. Let's do this. Let's grab this. Okay, that's about the best we can do. Perfect. Because I think we're like one shy on setting things out. All right, Sanchi Stupa, coinage. And there's Halicarnassus that we can't achieve, which is unfortunate for us. Unfortunate. All right, let's go ahead and get out here. All right, let's grow our town. Let's secure the pearls. Over here, we're going to grow... Oh, man. I'm going to have to crush that for my fishing key. Let's see, let's just go out here. All right, so... Yeah, I know. Great. Whatever. All right, so we could do masteries. This is 6 turns. How many turns are left in the age? I don't think I'll have enough. I don't think I'll have enough. All right, we can't plug anything in, so we're done there. Let's keep exploring this up here. All right, we've made it. Let's tick her off. Boom. We can be the Inca if we wish. We did the 8 of 8, so we have that ability. Lovely. Let's take this guy in. There we go. All right, Narbo Martius. So she can settle nowhere in this area. Like, let's just do a nice little... Yeah, she came here to settle, and I'm surprised she didn't do it sooner. That's on her. So she will definitely want to war us, by the way. She is going to hate our guts. 100%. And I don't even blame her, because this is just horrendous. Let's see. This could expand out some more, so we're going to come out here and secure this first. Yeah, also, we've basically isolated Hattusa, so that's really good for us. All right. Oh, yeah, you know what? I can move that. We'll move this, because losing a little bit of production here is really not that big of a deal. All right, actually, you know what? Give me some happiness. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. All right. You're going to sit tight. I have some money. Ostia, I can't really grow your cultures. Let's get your harbor and fishing key at least. Okay. A granary. Yeah, we're not really going to do much with farming. So let's put a granary in there. Walls get us happiness. Let's grab that. All right. Looks good. The others I need to start messing with. All right. Chart the stars. Spherical earth. Good for her. All right. We're 4 turns, so we will not get mathematics. Okay. All right. So try to... move the tiles away from her that you can't acquire. All right. I don't want her to get productions. That's kind of what I'm doing. Okay. Might as well get this chariot out at least. All right. Come on now. What do you mean you can't? Oh, because you're sick. Come on. Really? Ridiculous. All right. I'm surprised I wasn't able to get some of these. Looks like we might be going for another culture win. That wasn't really my plan, but that's where we're at. All right. So let's go ahead and secure a fishing key and harbor. Right. 2, 3, 4. Could do a nice gold building out here. Go ahead and do a brickyard right there. All right, so I could try to push... let me do some walls. I think this adjacency will stick, so we'll do that. All right, this is all done. All right, let's get out here. All right, there's Königsberg. Nice. There's that. All right, you are infuriating me to no end with this. Okay, chart the stars. Everybody beat me on the science. Goodness. All right, there's Monk's Mound, which doesn't matter. All right, so, yep, she closed in on there a little bit. Okay, she can take this. She can't take anything else. So with that in mind, we'll go ahead and start kind of moving where we can. All right, Lord of the Coin, because he finally got trade routes. Good for him. Good for you, buddy. All right, nothing here. We'll just confirm and move on, and we'll set you to auto-explore. Of course. All right, we'll go to Patavium. All right. So, unfortunately, we're not getting our academies, which I would have needed. We're not getting any extra research. Okay, we really missed out. All right. That is kind of annoying. Let's get you going. Get some food, I guess. Better. I'm not really pleased. I'm not. Final turn of this age. I'm happy with a lot of stuff, and I'm also not happy with a lot of stuff. So we're just going to have to see how this unfolds here. I definitely don't like this. All right, so age transition. Is there anything we want to do before we move on? Is there anything we can acquire or do? 3 more altars, because we can't do any science stuff. We missed out on this. Yep, I mean, we got the 8 of 8, so that'll be nice. We don't have enough gold buildings. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we never charted the stars or anything, so we won't be able to do astronomy. If we do 2 more altars, we could have a missionary charge. That could be pretty big, actually. So, yep, and none of this stuff matters. I'm surprised we didn't even do the gold. We were kind of building up. I'm worried I went with something I shouldn't have. If this is on regular age lengths, I'm not happy. I know people are like, oh, we play this way. I don't care. I don't care. All right, let's secure this. Let's get an altar here. Give me an altar here. All right. Well, that should have done something. Nothing, huh? Okay, well, let's see if we can get our last altar in. This looks good. Alright, so we got our 6 altars. We can do piety. We should have the other option. Oh, and cities? Get out of here. You wanted me to have 4 cities? Garbage. Well, at least we have the piety option, so I'll take it. Alright, we're going to move on. We could stay Rome. Ooh, Rome. It's not a bad idea, but we're not going to do that. We are going to upgrade to the Normans, our specific civ, and we are all about, you know, the Mott Bailey getting culture and happiness. Chevalier is good. The Sokoman's great. And then we got these lovely abilities, culture in the capital and happiness in the cities for traditions in the government. So we have a bunch of those to work with. We got combat strength for cavalry units for every tradition. Beautiful. Palace gets happiness adjacency for fortifications. We can have plus 50% production towards building fortifications, and we get happiness and production on fortified districts. This one's big. And then 4 culture and captured settlements if we go that route, which we might, who knows. Either way, we got some wonderful, wonderful traditions, so we are going to be the Normans. Now, as for our abilities here, we don't really need these anymore. We're kind of good on those. Please just go away. There we go. All right. So, where are we going to put points to kind of push ourselves forward? Because I think we're a bit behind right now. I do. So what looks like a good idea? Well, extra settlement limit, we don't need that. We get production in the capital for towns. Not really what we need. I do think we need a lot more science. So actually, this percentage of great works, Eagle Banner right now would be great for us because it's using our culture to make science. Because we'll produce our people to send out and get great works, so that'd be great for us. We don't really have much tundra cities, so we don't need that. We could get science on our military buildings. That's not a terrible idea. We could, you know, kind of use that to push ourselves forward. We do have a few of those. All right, what else do we got? All right, happiness per age for policy slotted. Okay. Oh, science on army commander promotion. That would be a little bit. The downside being that we'd have to be doing some fighting. 400 gold, migrants, settlers, gain 20 science per age for every science building constructed. We could get extra production for happiness. It's 2 per age. I do like this card a lot. That's a very good card. All right, looking at it here, I'm trying to see if there's any other way to kind of squeeze out some science or something. Does not appear to be the case. So I think we'll come up to the top here, and we'll actually grab ourselves a scientific attribute point as well. I think these are going to be what we need right now. So we're going to confirm those, lock them in. All right, yeah, we are down on science. It's not terrible. As for the culture, we're looking pretty good, actually, so that's good. The only problem is that Hatshepsut does have a ton of science, so that does hurt us because she's pulling a double whammy on us. So we do have to affect that. Either way, there we are. Moving on to... Oh, well, I have a unit move. Oh, I'll snag that real quick at the end of the age. Okay, I'm going to do this just to see if it would tick me off. Okay, we're fine. If that would have gotten me mathematics, I would have been livid. All right. Probably I should have done that. We all know Halicarnassus never would have happened. It is what it is. All right, so let's age transition. That was Antiquity. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all learned stuff. Maybe things not to do, too, probably. Either way, I hope that was a learning experience and a fun experience. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.